quarterfinals, at HML. I'm at HML.
Yeah, regionals, who are you guys playing against?
Well, we beat Reagan for quarterfinals. In the semis, we played Miami High. We lost, but they're headed to state. They played them.
Oh, okay.
So if I lose in NBA, I'll lose to the state champion.
No big deal.
It might be that.
Nice.
We are meeting the state.
Just got
I like
home with
to state, yeah.
They're going to
And Reagan's coached by one of the best
Hollywood?
coaches in South Florida, or used to
You
be
did?
when she was at Sunset.
Oh, no, yeah, she's
Not
not here.
muted on.
Yeah, it's
Zoom.
like God,
That means
some-
automatically.
It says on.
Oh,
It's an older
for boy.
cut for boys. Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
So
Okay.
do you go back to the Zoom?
Yeah. So.
And
No. So they have a lot of past.
double
players
check
that
that
now
out.
come back.
Oh, okay.
So. So they also play.
Show
Congratulations. That
Thanks.
that hasn't happened in a while.
Yep, so we are squared away.
Making a comeback.
Awesome, so with that, we are live.
It happened in a while.
Yeah, you don't want to have to hear the feedback. We're just mute that. Yeah. All right, so with that, I will turn it over to the chair to go ahead and start this meeting.
Okay, call to order 5:35 PM. Mr. Secretary, can you call roll?
Dave Oliver,
Present.
Roman Garcia,
Present?
Miriam.
Present.
Ochoa, Marcos. Present. And Ryan is absent. Jim Hamilton, I'm here.
Any, so we have enough members to conduct meeting. We also have Jeremy from the town and Andres Pinheiro from the town. Any meeting additions, subtractions or corrections to the agenda?
Through the chair, I do have a subtraction.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and, we won't be at this meeting approving recommendations. We'll get into that in a little bit, but we can pull that item off. And the only other item is, if allowed, I'd like to add a new business item to introduce Andres Pinheiro.
Andres, how do you spell your surname?
Pinheiro,
P-I-N-E-R-O.
I-R-O.
E-I-R-O. Okay, very good.
Okay, anybody else with any subtractions or additions? Seeing none, we'll move to the adoption of last meeting's minutes. They're behind the agenda.
Make a motion, we approve as submitted.
Okay,
Second.
we have a motion by David Oliver to approve, seconded by Miriam. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, minutes are approved unanimously. Old business committee appointments. I know that was a topic that we discussed, Jeremy. It's more like I guess like a recap. This year, I'll be serving as chair. Miriam will be the vice chair. Jim will be the secretary. And then at this point in time, we currently have, I think, one vacancy
Correct.
because
and-
Marcos is now back.
Correct. And with that also, I did send an email earlier, to the chair and vice chair, just to inform them that, the new councilman, Brian Herrera, was going to attend today, unfortunately cannot, had a last minute, call in at work. He will most likely be viewing online, but he definitely wanted to say that he does have an appointment here. And he also wants to make sure that he's here to see what the committee does, hear about how we go about our business, and if there's any support that he can provide. He kind of wants to be able to hear, learn a little bit how about our operation, I think before he makes an appointment. So his seat is available and he's looking to work with the committee.
Excellent, that's good to hear. I'll reply to the email that you sent me and copy him on it that, whenever he wants to have a chat, I'm always open to a conversation. Okay, so we have one vacancy right now, which is obviously the new council member, and then we'll see as stuff goes forward. Under old business, we also had a follow-up to last year's ceremony. I didn't see anything in previous minutes. Jim, did we talk about that in the January meeting? Because I didn't attend the January meeting, so,
I would think we had a little bit of a review.
okay.
Was there anything, before we get into this and I introduce on this, but is there anything that was, open, immediate, noticeable at the last event that we wanted to talk about, make sure it's on my radar as well as Andres's, or anything that we could change operationally?
Operationally, no, I think I know. We had, I don't know if it was a snafu, I don't know if it ever got done. Did the letters signed by the mayor ever get out to?
It's not done on a timely basis.
Okay.
I mean, it's like,
I mean, I think last year, if they got sent out, it might have been even after the ceremony.
I think they got sent out in close to October. That was a concern, was the time strain.
Yeah,
I think we got them signed the end of September and issued like the first week of October.
Hmm.
And that gave a few individuals too short of a notice.
Yeah.
And that's where I've been discussing with committee member Hamilton on is this timeline that we'll talk about a little bit
Yeah.
is a little more streamlined, and it'll give 4 months notice to
Oh.
potential attendees and also our previous Hall of Famers, so they can come back and enjoy the event as well.
correct, okay. All right, I mean, that, as far as the actual ceremony that I can recall, I mean, it was great having the jazz ensemble from HML. I can hope we can bring them back again this year. Obviously, I know our singer graduated and is in somewhere in Georgia right now. But if she's around for Christmas break, we'll definitely bring her back. She was great. She actually sang at the memorial for Tim.
Right.
So we were able to get her for that also. Logistically speaking, I thought everything went well. The food was good. I know, like some of our sponsors drew back a little bit in what they provided in-kind donation wise. So we might have to, I know we're upping the sponsorship packages. I'll bring that up later because I know we voted on that last meeting and stuff like that to see if we can raise a little bit more money and to, make it a bigger, because at the end of the day, I think we're all on the same page. We want to make this a bigger event every year. And I mean, I think last year we had the biggest turnout. And now, now that we're working closer with the Optimist Club, I can only hope that, working with Chris and with baseball and with Jose and football and we can get a lot more kids out. And, so I think that's, the goal is because obviously you want more kids there because kids are going to see one day want their name up there. And that's how you start it. You get them small, get them moved through the ranks and stuff like that. And then, and get them eventually, hopefully inducted into the Sports Hall of Fame. Anything else on?
well, I was gonna say, is there a way we can, because we don't really have any draft records of how many people actually attend, and that would be maybe important for us to, plan our food or see where we're lacking, but somewhere we should get some type of numbers of people actually that attend.
We can, but it's usually through Eventbrite. And with that, since it's a free event, what tends to happen is people will sign up and then not show.
Okay.
And on the flip side, people then show up that didn't sign up. So, other than potentially, we can look at other ways, we can do it during the event.
But even if
count-
we had a picture of the event itself and count heads at the tables.
we should take a look, we'll
Yeah.
take a look at, I know we took a lot of pictures, we had Jessica on site, so we'll take a look at the pictures,
It'd be interesting to know that stat though, and it might help us on something.
no, definitely.
I think we had asked Austin to do that before he left, and I think it was just like days before he was leaving when we had our meeting, and
If
He
I
was
send
gonna
him,
look at
if
that.
I send Austin an email now, he'll probably still get it to me, he'll get me the information. But no, we'll take a look at the pictures and we'll try to compile and get some data for you guys on more or less what we thought the traffic count was.
We
Alright.
might also, didn't mean to
Go ahead.
interrupt, but we also might want to get a copy, because I don't personally have a copy of what our new sponsorship packages are. 'Cause
That
they're
we
elevated.
finalized last meeting, I actually didn't include it in the minutes because it was a sheet that Austin gave, that's why I didn't send it. And I know we had added a bronze level that wasn't on the original sheet. So I don't know, I mean, I guess once we finalize that, if we can get that to the committee so we can start
Yeah,
pushing
I
it.
can send it as soon as if we're gonna talk about it and adjust it a little bit now and.
I don't think we're gonna adjust it, I think we were just gonna go over it.
Just so we know when we go out and maybe, pitch the,
I can send that to the board tomorrow.
Okay.
Because I know we upped the title sponsor, and then we added a bronze level sponsor. We upped everybody up a little bit to try to get more funds in besides the 1,000 that the town gives us. Because I think if I'm not mistaken, I think I put it in the minutes. If not, I have it on my notes. We spent about 5,100 last year. But, as things increase in price, we were trying to get up to 6,500.
Right.
And obviously, if we get any more, it gives us a chance, because I mean, if we can talk Chris into bringing kids, maybe we splurge and get a bounce house for a couple hours for the kids to play before the ceremony or after the ceremony or whatever, you know, and stuff like that. It's just, that's how you build community engagement. But it's something to think about in the future, depending where we're at financially. Dave, anything?
Well, there was posters. We had, Miriam suggested we get posters of.
Yes, that's with
and,
Tico.
So we need to, do that earlier.
Yeah, I mean, that once we finalize, I mean, I think we dropped the ball a little bit in last year with that. I know Tico's on
I
board.
think it was more, that there was a lack of communication, maybe
Yeah.
it was like urgent.
Yeah, so I know Tico's on board with doing posters and stuff like that. We just gotta figure out, we gotta finalize what we're gonna do. If it's gonna be one big poster, you know, of each person, or if we're gonna do, because I know at one point we had discussed trading cards for the people to sign, but then, you know, when you have someone, you know, person A that's very popular, he's gonna sign 50 cards, and person B who's not as popular is gonna sign
Right.
10.
Right.
I think it's better, and I think, you know, if we can get Tico to post, let's say, put out 2 posters, right? And we have each Hall of Famer sign 2 posters, they can keep one. The Hall of Fame inductee and the town can keep one. And we can display it year in, year out, you know what I mean? Oh, you know, this member was this class, this member was this, that, you know, and we can show, that's where we could showcase it, and you have an autographed picture, you know what I mean? Of the guy. I mean, it's something to think about, you know,
Right.
depending on what Tico can do for us, you know?
Yeah, and I think we'll probably tackle that more, probably in the,
Late September, early October-ish.
yeah, meeting. Cause that'll be the meeting where we talk about the ceremony.
Yeah.
And then if needed, we can always place, depending on logistics and depending on the operation. If needed, we can place, a special call meeting or subcommittee before the event, just to touch base, but we've done this enough. You guys as a board have done this enough. We kind of know the deal. I think if we tackle this in that early October, we'll be able to have the meeting, be able to have the event in December with no issues, and probably not need that subcommittee. So, the only thing with that is, so last year, I'm just looking at the data I have right now in front of me, which is on our financial system. So last year, we drew in 3,500 in sponsorships. The year before that, we drew in about 4,000, and then 35 the year before that. So that's right now where we're at on sponsorship money. And every year, as you mentioned, we're getting the allotment from the town. General fund is $1,000. So the only thing we have $155 in there right now. So I don't know what that goes towards, but
That was leftover.
yeah.
I mean, I know Austin wanted to spend it on something before we lost it at the end of the
Yeah.
fiscal year. I just don't know what we can pull the trigger on.
We have
Before.
until
September
September
30th.
30th. Yeah.
Yeah, we just, I don't know. I mean, the thing is, if we have. I mean, the thing is, we can't order shirts because we don't know what sizes to order. And I think all the previous Hall of Famers shirts have already been ordered. So we're all caught up there. And that's what we did. Were we gonna do committee shirts that the committee was? I have mine. I know you have yours. You have your Hall of Fame shirt.
Mhm.
Marcus, do you have a shirt? Miriam doesn't have, well, she has her Hall of Fame shirt. So I think we're good with that, because they got shirt, you know, you guys got shirts when you guys were inducted, so. I mean, the only shirt we would need would be whoever gets appointed. I think does Ryan have a shirt?
I think he does, because he's been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan's gonna have.
So I think whoever the new appointee is, would be, but again, we'd have to see the timing and stuff like that, but. Maybe we can use some of those funds for that, you know?
Okay, no, we can keep that in mind, especially also if the new council has an appointee pretty soon.
Yeah.
We'll just go ahead and fill it with that.
So,
And then as we get closer to, if it comes down to it, small amounts towards like Google advertising, we can advertise the event already by October or by September, so we can start pushing something out.
yeah, that was the one thing that I know lacked last year, was the marketing aspect. I mean, we were pushing Austin, and it just wasn't transpiring.
Yeah, we'll jump into that when it comes up later on in the meeting as well, and we'll talk about what we saw and what we think we gotta do moving forward.
So anybody else with anything on the old business side? Okay, so we'll jump over to new business. Schedule leading up to the ceremony. Obviously, our goal right now, Jeremy, is we want to amend the resolution to fix certain deadlines, so we can reopen nominations. And then once that comes to light, then obviously right now we're tentatively scheduled to have our ceremony on the 14th of December. Jim, the 5:30 actually worked out pretty well, right?
I thought so.
Because we did the VIP from 5:30 to 6:30,
Event at 6:30.
and then the 6:30, we started the event. That way by 8, we were eating. And then I think by 9:30, the park was cleared. So I think that works out.
So we're secured with the December 14th?
That's already locked
Yeah,
in.
it's already on
Is that-
my end, it's already squared away, and I already informed Chris and the Optimist, so they're also aware.
And then, yeah, because Chris had been asking me, and I'm like, well, let me confirm with Jeremy because, and then when I saw you sent it to him, I sent him a text, Jeremy just sent you an email. You know, okay, so the resolution is an attachment here that was given out.
Before we jump into that,
Okay.
Chair, the only thing in the schedule leading up, I just wanna, so the plan right now, operation and the plan, I guess, on a planning forethought is gonna be, we're gonna meet now. We're gonna just kind of get the resolution. The biggest thing today is gonna be amending the resolution and making sure we're all clear. What we've done in the past, and this is why I wanna make sure everyone is aware, we have constantly every year kind of gone up there and requested amendments on the spot during our report to the council once we have the recommendations in. And it poses an issue with time, as Jim mentioned. But the other thing that's happening is we're constantly having to request this amendment on the fly. So this time, we're just gonna go ahead and adjust the resolution for the next council meeting, so in June, which means, once we approve the amendment today, we'll go ahead and report in June. The changes, also the application date in which the public can submit their applications. That's gonna allow us time to then receive more applications before we make a decision.
Jeremy, what date is the June meeting?
June 11th. Tuesday, June 11th.
Jim, will you be in town?
The vice chair.
She's not in town.
I leave the 8th.
Oh,
I leave the 6th.
okay.
I'll be in Alaska on the 11th.
Jim will go back-to-back meetings,
Yeah.
being up there ready to talk.
So when is the date?
June
June
11th.
11th.
Okay.
And all we're gonna be doing is essentially, I'll make now via this meeting, I'll go ahead and propose the amendments, and then we'll get it just approved. Then after the June meeting, we'll set the date, which will then be the first, Friday of August, would be,
The deadline.
the deadline for or actually, I'm sorry, August 1. We'd make it August 1, would be the deadline for, all recommendations and applications for, nominees. We will then have to meet between the August 1st and the second Tuesday of August to go ahead and actually decide on the recommendations. So we'll schedule one meeting in between there. So that's gonna be our next meeting as of right now. Somewhere between the first 2 weeks of, geez, I can't think of August. Then we'll go before the council on that second August, council on the second Tuesday, of the month. We'll go ahead and
In September.
in August,
August 16th, August 13th meeting.
So then we gotta meet before the 13th.
yes.
Right.
Yeah. So we will go ahead and then report back to council with the nominees, approval, the date, and then pushing it. We have the date now internally, but it's another forum for us to go ahead and kind of push the ceremony. After that, I don't anticipate us meeting, like I mentioned, until October, September, maybe even
I would-
November.
I would say late September, just have a meeting for logistic purposes, and then again, we can come back in November.
And if we need it so.
If we need an October
That
meeting.
second meeting, yeah, the second meeting will take place, and then if needed, there will be a subcommittee and then the event. So between now and the event, at least 2 meetings are gonna be had, and that should be the last 2 meetings of the year. And then getting into this, we should be getting back on track with 4 meetings, probably a year on.
Good.
And this should also put us in a better stance so that we can all stick to deadlines are always August. And then the event will always be in December.
Yeah, I think the thing is, we had the April date because we used to be a June event.
Correct.
And then with COVID and stuff, we ended up pushing it to December, and it actually works out better
Oh,
to do
yeah.
an outdoor event in December than in June.
Right.
So,
Oh, yeah.
90-day difference.
you know, so I think the last 2 ceremonies have been outstanding with the outdoor, with the weather, the little lights and stuff like that.
The only bad thing is it's been so good now, we're expected to do better.
That's fine. We'll get there.
The weather can be, but.
You know.
So that's something I want to just make sure the board is aware of what I anticipate moving forward meeting wise and what kind of items we need to get completed before the ceremony, so. That's all I have for you, Chair.
Okay.
But do we have somebody that, I mean, how do we reach out? Is it us on the committee reaching out to the sponsors that, like the title sponsor, for example, or the grant companies, or do we have that, you know, in a letter going out from the town?
So on our end, we push out to all previous sponsors, a sponsorship package, and it shows all of the events that you can go ahead and sponsor.
Okay.
We'll be doing that, but obviously you guys as committee members, anything you can push, any other sources of funding you can find, it's ideal.
Would we give you those names or would you give us the packet?
No, I'm gonna send you guys the package tomorrow, yeah, I'm gonna send you the packet tomorrow.
Okay.
It's also usually online, so,
Through Eventbrite.
yeah.
Yeah, they can go on Eventbrite and become a sponsor. When will the Eventbrite link go live for sponsors? Because if we're gonna push people to Eventbrite to
I mean,
sponsor,
it's already there, right? It's last year's, all I have to do is copy paste and then make it live. How soon do you guys want it up? You want it up yesterday?
I'm just saying, if we're gonna start pushing for sponsors, we might as well put it up.
Yeah, we can get that up probably latest in the next week.
Okay, so amended resolution. So obviously, right off the top, we're making the change on the nomination deadline being from the first Friday in April to August 1 at 5 p.m. Any individual or association may submit nominations be sent by mail, email, or fax.
Do you guys have a copy of the application there by any chance?
This, yeah.
The application number, not,
This one.
no,
Oh, yeah.
No, the application, the nomination
I
application.
can show it now. It's online as well.
Okay,
Jeremy, is there a way? Because obviously, as people change, you know, people come and go. Is there a way for the town to create a sports hall of fame at town of Miami Lakes for a centralized mailbox for you guys to accept nominations? Because I'm just saying, because again, like, I'm sure you guys have access to Austin's email, but we don't know what's in their nomination wise, it might have been pending. Even when, you know, when Austin took over for Manny, you know, yeah, I'm sure there was carryover and stuff like that, but like a central repository for you guys, I mean, to provide us the information, you know, continuity
I
because,
think there's no issue with that. I think that's a great idea. It can just be Sports Hall of Fame at Miami Lakes.
SHOF.gov or whatever, that way, you know, that way when we put it on the application or on the flyer or on the web, people know to email it to that one, then you guys have access to that and you guys can provide it to us. You know? I'm all about centralization.
No,
No, not at all.
Yeah, we'll get that up and then it'll become a group. So actually, for redundancy purposes, it'll be sent to Andres, myself, and then anybody else that I have working within my department as well.
Perfect. Okay, so we have that, but obviously that, I know that's on the application, if I'm not mistaken. To return it to,
Yes, that's on the application.
on the actual application
It still
itself.
says A-Tubs
Exactly. Okay, obviously, we're gonna change, it's in red already there for summer to be held in December of that calendar year.
Do we want to specify the second December of the month?
I'm all for it because that's usually the week after football championship games. That's why we picked that Saturday. Or is that the Saturday of the championship game? That's what we did. That Saturday.
No, it should always be
Yeah, championship Saturday is usually the first Saturday of
after the
December.
first Saturday, because I'm usually closing fields by mid.
Yeah, so yeah. No, but what I'm saying, I'm talking NCAA.
Oh.
I'm talking conference
Oh,
championships.
Here too.
Yeah. No, I think we had done second Saturday to avoid conflict with college football and stuff like that, even though with the new playoff system, God only knows how that's gonna work, but we just gotta, I'm fine specifying second Saturday. Because that way you're telling people, hey, it's gonna be the second Saturday, no matter what. You know, just like we had in June, we always said it was the second Saturday of June because of vacation.
Mhm.
Or I think it was the first Saturday of June or whatever,
It was the first Saturday, so we get people before
before they left for summer vacation. I'm fine specifying, I don't know, does anybody in the committee have any opposition to specifying second Saturday of December in the resolution? Okay, eligible sports, that won't change, it's we're open to everything. Categories, okay, so I know we had the amendment on the HML.
Marcos, was there anything in particular on the nomination form you wanted to see?
No, I'm just curious, the process of,
So our nomination form was already stating the August 1st date, so that's one less thing we have to do. So selection process, the deadline it gives you, any individual or association may submit. But the criteria is what you want to look over, or the,
yeah, we've got it here, as far as, the somebody else nominates somebody, somebody can nominate themselves, there's a deadline, obviously.
yeah, there's a deadline, there's different, it explains all the categories. Yeah, it explains all the categories,
I see right here.
and then it goes waiting periods. That one also has the waiting periods there,
Yeah, I got it here, okay.
and then on the actual form itself. Indicate the category in which you're nominating somebody, so I'm either nominating an individual for induction. As an athlete, I'm nominating as a community builder, I'm nominating as a team,
Right.
and you have to name the nominee. Is the nominee living, deceased, the sport they played, what area of the sport, were they a player, a coach, or an admin? The name of the the address of the nominee, their contact information for the closest living relative. And then your name if you nominated them. So you do need the nominators need to name themselves. And then obviously you need to attach a candidate support document. So anything that kind of backs statistics, anything that backs the nomination. And that's it.
Yeah, I know Jim's got a wealth.
I've got 3 of them.
That's the database, man.
Is that a Google form? Is that-
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah.
That Jim's the database. Right, it's just that these nominations are gonna flow in, he's got the database here that.
And then as part of that, we talked real quick and briefly is the waiting period. So individuals will be held over also who were nominated previous years. As long as they meet the criteria, they will still be held over for consideration in the following year. Right.
Well, that's Jim.
Up to.
Well, it's here it states up to 3 years.
Total, which means.
Oh, wait, hold on.
No, it says, I think it's, and then they kind of lapse.
2 years.
A period of 2 years.
Do you think we should extend that a little bit or no? Now that we're taking it up,
We could,
make it 4 years of holdover?
yeah, we could, I mean, I don't see any reason why not, because otherwise we lose kind of like continuity of, who they were, or what. That they're still in consideration, I guess. I mean, if they were good enough to meet that.
First nominated, their name should be put forth up to 2 years after the person or team has been nominated. If the period, after that period, the point.
So you're saying somebody that was nominated last year didn't get it, you're saying hold their name, hold their application for 2 years?
Right now, the way it's written is 2 years.
2 years. So the following.
And then if
two
they don't make
consequences.
it,
They'll
in
keep it, we'll
yeah,
keep
if they
their-
don't make it, then they're out for 2 years before they can be renominated. Is the way it's written right now.
So we hold it for 2 years, consider them for 2 years, take them off for 2 years and then.
They
reconsider.
can be,
And
they'd have to be renominated at that
Somebody
point.
had to be nominated.
So I was thinking out loud of extending it to a total of a 5-year window. 1 year you're nominated. If you don't make it that first year, you have up to 4 years to be reconsidered. And then if you want to do 2 years of dormancy, that's fine. But then it's a 5-year window. If in 5 years you haven't been picked by the committee, you might not get renominated.
Gotcha.
But in a 3-year window, it's a lot shorter, of a spin, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you're not nominating them, if they're not being chosen in 3 years, what's 5 years gonna do? What's the difference?
We've had instances where we've been short people because people have died off and we couldn't renominate them because they had the 2-year dormancy.
Time.
And then,
And then we have 2 years more to wait.
and then you have to wait, they have to wait the 2 years dormancy, where we could have probably used them to make a class 5 instead of 4 or whatnot.
It's not really negative, it's really positive, because if they may never get, approved, but at least they have the opportunity, otherwise.
For a total of 5 years, and then after that point, then it's, the family needs to keep up with the news and renominate it at the 7-year mark.
So essentially, you want to extend the years of review and remove the dormancy period.
I just think after the 5-year, I would remove the dormancy, but after 5 total years they'd have to be renominated at that point.
Okay.
Right, but it gives you time for those things that could happen, God forbid, a COVID,
Correct.
we couldn't get through the person passed away, the family didn't get back to us.
would you be okay? I mean, okay, I'm putting it out of, to the committee for discussion. Expanding it from a total 3-year wait, a total of 3 years of consideration to 5 years.
Right.
And removing the 2 years of dormancy. So at the end of the 5 years, technically, yes, they're no longer in our pool, but they could be renominated that next year. They wouldn't have to wait 2 more years. So now you're looking 7 years down the road.
Well, but you're removing it, right?
Right.
You're removing them from the pool, but they'd have to be, they can be renominated right away.
Right, but I wouldn't extend it to 5 years and make them wait another 2.
No, that's why I'm removing the 2 years of dormancy.
Right,
I'm recommending to remove the 2 years of dormancy.
right,
You technically, okay, so let's say, John Smith gets nominated this year, they don't get in. Okay, they got 4 more years to get in.
Right.
If at the 5th year mark, they still haven't gotten in,
right,
year 6, they can be renominated
right,
and start another 5-year window. They don't have to wait 2 years to come back in year 8 to be renominated.
okay.
You know,
I like-
just that way it gives us a deeper talent pool.
Right.
You know, because that's what we're trying to build is a pool. You know,
So on my end, and I'll recap, or I'll let the chair recap the motion in the end, but just want to make sure, all I'm adjusting is for up to 2 years to go to up to 5 years and removing
Well,
everything.
will be put forward for up to 4 years total.
Okay,
So
4 years.
I'll put up to 4 years and then parentheses total 5 years, because it's the year of nomination plus up to 4 more.
Gotcha.
So a total of 5,
After the person or team has been nominated.
correct? And then I would strike the
I'm striking
dormancy.
everything after that.
Yeah, I would strike the dormancy.
Would you leave the after this?
No,
period,
no, all of that,
This person
all of that's
will
fine.
be renominated?
No, it says, after this period, the fact doesn't.
We can leave that, yeah.
No, that you can leave.
But yeah, the final sentence you would leave. You would strike if after up to the 2 years, and then leave after this period of time, the person can be, or team can be renominated, can be nominated again.
Perfect.
So curiosity, how many people you have in the pool right now?
I don't think we carried anybody over from last year.
I have to take a look, no, I think it was exactly the amount.
2 or 3.
I have to take a look into Austin's files. What was left to me was a lot of logistics, paperwork and bills, but I'll take a look at the actual application.
Because I know we approved one person who took himself out after he was
Right,
approved
right.
by the committee, by the council.
Do you have all you need on those they got here?
It's got my vote already.
Yeah.
So I think that somebody, I mean, I
You
think.
got all you
Yeah.
need?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take a look, but I know that, I have to see where he left the paperwork and anything that was submitted Google Docs I can find.
So how will this affect the 1 or 2 people that have not been selected or approved?
I think they would fall under the new rules.
Yeah, so
I'm just
if-
asking.
has anybody, I'm trying to think now from the first 2 years, we don't have them. Oh, nobody would have met the dormancy yet.
Reed
Well, they
Stevenson,
would have,
Reed
He was nominated
Stevenson,
in year one,
he was nominated year 1, and the
Yeah.
1985 HML team was also nominated year 1.
there's 2, yeah.
I have his stuff. He's my neighbor,
Who,
Reed Stevenson.
Curtis took forever to get back to me, which is why he fell dormant.
Yeah, well, he's gonna be in the works.
Yeah, so
I have all
then,
this
then,
stuff.
yeah, it wouldn't matter anyways, because once we institute.
I
this
think
as of the-
last year Danny Delgado might have fallen into dormancy. Because I think last year he met year 3.
Wasn't Danny the 3rd year?
I did last year was his 3rd year.
No, I'm
So
saying it was the 3rd year of the event,
that he got nominated,
yeah. I don't think you got nominated year 2, it was year 3.
he was year 3, and we're going into year 7. So I think
You're not getting older, but I'm getting older.
he wasn't in 2, but I think he was.
yeah, I think he was nominated in the 3rd year, but then we had COVID, and then year 5 and 4, 5, and 6, and we're going into our 7th ceremony, I think.
Okay,
So
yeah, I mean, at the adjustment, we can bring everybody that's ever been submitted back up.
whoever's not, I mean, I think there was one person that was submitted that we threw out, and that was because he didn't meet
He
the
didn't-
eligibility requirements because
He was still active.
he was still active. So
Yeah.
that was some Kiffin Goldman that the mom had nominated him. I remember the water polo player.
Yeah, and not only was he still active in high school,
He was playing at college.
he was gonna be playing college right after.
Yeah, yeah, he was going, he
Well,
was
this
getting a
career.
scholarship to, to water polo in college. But besides that, we've never had
Anybody long.
anybody long,
Yeah,
long term like that. All right, So yeah, I would, so I'll make a motion to make those changes on the resolution. That we've discussed, which would be August 1st, 5 PM. Lock in second Saturday of December, that calendar year. Obviously, the red changes under athlete were previously approved by amendment. As was the community builder as the team. And then in the waiting periods, extending it to for
For a total of 5
a
years.
total of 5 years. Striking the dormancy. And let's get the show on the road.
Well, I've got one suggestion
Sure.
to make for language really.
Okay.
And probably for people in the public. We've got on page 2 of the Sports Hall of Fame criteria, it's list builder, community member. Nowhere really does it say coach. I think, just because, again, for clarity, I think it should have builder, coach, community member. Because sometimes, they may not see a coach in there, even though obviously builder and community is who we really categorize as a coach.
Yeah, it says it in the first line, but yeah, I'm totally fine with that. I mean, do the plaques say builder community member?
Yes, and then usually. I'm trying to remember the plaque now. I'll take a look real quick.
Well, the other thing is to try to bring everything in line on the second page on
The application?
the application that's got player, coach, administrator. So again, we're not consistent with, we've got player, coach, administrator, or builder, community member. I think all, whatever it is, it should be the same.
Right.
Yeah, I think the application should reflect whatever the categories are on the
Instead of
resolution.
player, it should say, the
Athlete.
form should say athlete.
I think it should say.
Athlete and then community builder, coach, community member, or builder, coach, community member, is fine, and the team.
Athlete, coach. Either it says administrator, but again, you got community member.
Yeah, so we'll clear up the application to match criteria. And then
Right.
we'll also make the adjustments on the criteria side to make sure that it's clear on the coach. So. All right. Motion on the floor,
Yes.
second the motion for discussion, amendment being made. So a second on the amendment.
Motion on the amendment.
Okay, so now for discussion. Anything else to clear up on your amendment?
No,
Nothing else? All right, so let's vote on the amendment real quick. So, Jim's amendment, to the motion is on the criteria to also go ahead and clear up the
Wording on the application,
verbiage on, what is it,
Yeah.
the second
builder, community member to add
category,
coach.
to add coach.
Make-
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, seeing none, that amendment passes. Now back to the original motion, which is the full amendments, onto the Sports Hall of Fame criteria
well, the other one was to change player to athlete.
on the.
On the application.
That's on the application.
That's on the application.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not on the resolution itself.
Oh, okay, my bad.
So on the resolution, I made the motion, Dave seconded. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Seeing none. The amended resolution is adopted and passed and can be moved to council for the June 11th meeting. Jim, I'll take care of writing the report for that meeting with the update of, through Jeremy and stuff like that, the actual committee report.
Okay,
And then it's just presenting, if there's any questions, you'll be there to answer questions from the council on the changes. Which, I mean, very rare do we get asked anything.
Right.
At least in my tenure in the years I've been there, so. Okay, sponsorship marketing is the next item. As far as Jeremy's gonna go ahead and send us the sponsorship packages. And hopefully by the end of next week, it will be live on Eventbrite. Obviously, we'll have the tentative date of 12/14 on the Eventbrite for now. Obviously, once it gets confirmed in August, then, it's just confirming it. But that way we can start pushing to try to get more sponsorship dollars. I just thought of something that we can use the $155 for, by the way. And I guess I don't know if it's gonna be enough, but I know we wanted to redo the wall. The order
right.
Okay.
at Optimus Park. The layout.
That should be enough. I mean, I'll take a look. I might even go do it personally, us, so.
Okay, well, I know it was discussed with Austin and Fast Signs. We just didn't know. We were still trying to figure out the design of what we wanted. Because obviously, some of the classes are broken up on different sides, so it makes it harder when taking off the curtain.
Mhm.
You have 2 people on this side and 2 people on this side, and the classes should all be together,
Okay,
at least in my opinion.
Right,
I think that's what we had discussed.
like first year, second year, third year.
Yeah, I mean, but did we want to go like first year down, second year down, third, how did we want to do that?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying the first year, second year, all the way.
Yeah,
I
no.
mean, that makes sense, and then everybody under 2018 is in a row, this.
so we wanna do it vertically, okay, I'll take a look and see if there's, if it can be done, I know some years were 4, some years were 5.
Well, I mean, you may have 4 and then you may have 5, but at least it's going down and it's not gonna look.
Yeah, it's easy to,
Yeah, well-
the eyes look, yeah.
It's like
We'll take a
people
look at it.
follow
We'll take a look at it and see if it can be done in-house, or if there's new holes needed and so forth, then I have to look at fast signs coming in and doing installation.
Okay, perfect.
Maybe
Yeah, I
it's
just
fine.
thought of that now. I'm like, wait, we still have some money. I know we had discussed that at the last meeting.
Right,
Okay, so yeah, back to sponsorship and marketing. I know we had approved a bronze level. I think that was at 250, right, Jim? Or was it 500?
no, I think the bronze was, what's right here on the notes, it was 500, wait, I just saw.
Bronze, because I had a bronze level, at a bronze level at 250 to 5. I don't remember.
Yeah,
I think we're
that's good.
between that.
I don't think we ever made a final call whether because
I think we were.
And I left- and since
250 and 500.
since I took that paper to the office to write the notes to get into Jeremy, I left it over at the office. The sponsorship package, do you have it there from last meeting, Jim? That Austin gave us? I know Jim is the keeper.
Right. Title sponsor is 25, 1,500 for gold, 750 for silver,
And I think we were gonna do bronze at 500.
and of course, I didn't write that down. So evidently, we didn't decide.
Yeah, I know we had it between 250 and 5. I think, I think 5 is a nice round number.
All this
Yeah.
title, Jim.
Title's 3,500,
25.
2,500,
Title was 2,500.
25.
515, 750.
Correct.
and then I would say 5 for bronze. Or do you want, is 250, is 5 too rich for bronze?
I think you're really close, and at that point, what is
Silver.
the offering difference, right? That's the other thing, within the package, you gotta be able to deliver on,
Which I know we gave that to Austin, I just don't remember what
Here,
I mean, I know it was there, but I'd have to go back to my notes. I mean,
here's these.
let me see if I can remember what it is.
that was the previous years.
No, this is the one he gave us.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, see, so, we had this, we were thinking between 5 and 250 and 5 with no marketing. They weren't gonna be added into like the marketing of the event. We could put their logo on like the program and stuff like that.
Okay,
But like when we put out a social media blast that we list silver and up,
would they be on flyers? Would they be on, I'm trying to think of other places we've placed in other channels,
see, because silver is admission for 2, early entry to cocktail.
And that's-
Logo inclusion in event press release and Eventbrite page, opportunity to distribute marketing materials to attendees, acknowledgement throughout the event, logo recognition in program, and social media recap post. That's all silver. So I think I think bronze, it didn't include admission to the event, like to the VIP area, because if we're only limiting silver to 2,
mhm.
if you're only gonna get 250, you don't get the VIP. And then I think it was just,
Just placing them on marketing,
I think it's just the marketing.
I think that's
The
all. it is.
250 was
It's
just
their
marketing.
logo.
It's just their logo on the
whatever.
program and on the, it's 250.
Now the question is, at 500, you're kind of really pushing people. For 250 more,
Yeah.
you're gonna go and do silver.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I
If you
mean,
if you do want smaller allotments, then.
yeah, I would say,
VIP and-
I would say 250 is the way to go, and that's just, you get included in the marketing. That's it. That's the only thing you get. You don't get admission to the
You
event,
get logo exposure.
logo exposure, basically what you're gonna get for 250. I think people still go silver instead of that, but there's some small businesses that might do just the logo to get their name out.
For the board.
What do you guys think?
Listen, I think if we can get people to give 250 and we have 3 people give 250, because like you said, small businesses, local people passed induction, that have some money, now you're looking at $500 we didn't have before. We need more money.
Yeah,
So-
and think about it, 250, let's say you get two of them,
That's
you
500 bucks.
already paid the bartender and then some,
Correct.
so.
Yeah.
It's
You
more
always start paying
doable.
bartender, you always gotta pay the bartender first.
And they just, you know, out of compromiso, no say, I need 250.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But 500 is still.
yeah, I mean, again, like we're saying, 500 is too close to the silver.
Right.
Mhm.
So what are you gonna take away from silver that, that's what I'm saying. I think at 250, it's more of an entry level point. And again, you can come to the event through Eventbrite, you can get your free ticket, you get dinner,
You'll be there at 6:30.
you get there at 6:30 and I think the bronze level sponsor would just be marketing at 250. So we're good with title at 25, we're good with gold at 15. Title still says 6 people, gold is 4 people, silver is 2 people at 750, and then bronze will be 0 people, only marketing at 250.
Motion on the floor, any seconds,
A second.
Second by Jim.
any further discussion?
Any further discussion?
Yeah, sorry, because it just popped in my head. How about if we added, and I know we talked a little bit about this, but like if somebody sponsors, our the main sponsor, like they are designated a table. I know we designate our inductees to a table, but like if you're gonna give us 2,500, there should be a special table. This table of 10 has your name on it, your signage on it, your logo. This is your table for other people who gave that. Like, I don't know, for someone big ticket, do those people even come? That would say, hey, we've already put aside a table that will be for
But they
you
only get
and
10
your
people.
family.
They only get 6
Yeah,
on title.
The-
So it's not a full table.
But the main person,
Okay,
Yeah.
title is 6.
why can't we give them 10
But
people?
why can't, I was gonna say, why can't we give them that?
We don't say we're giving them we're just giving them a table.
we can, this is gonna mean more tables and more funds in the end are needed.
It's not even more tables because every year, so far, I've been
Oh, yeah,
every
there's
year,
empty seats. Yeah,
tons.
yeah.
So that's not even, it's
So,
an assigned table because now I come
reserve
and it
table.
wasn't like running to say, oh, save this table for us.
Yeah.
You get a reserved table.
So we can make that change on title.
So you wanna bump the title then to 10?
The tables.
I wouldn't even say admission, no, I would just say admission for 6 and a reserve table.
Okay.
Cause we can either put other people at that table, whether it be committee members or, Optimist members or.
Maybe the mayor would sit.
Or elected officials.
You
too.
got
Or elected
10 at the
official.
table, right?
Yeah.
The
You
mayor-
can combine a silver and a title. That's 6 and 4.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is we're reserving a table for the title, whoever, title last year was Ocean Bank.
Right.
Mhm.
I don't think they even showed up last year. They might have had 1 or 2 people there.
Right.
Terry, no?
Because Terry showed up and left.
Right.
But what we're saying is they'll get a reserve table. And then, yeah, let's say they have their 6 entries, if they're all 6 there, great, perfect. We can put elected officials, we can put a committee member at the table, whatever, to,
Okay.
mingle with them and stuff like that, We can always put people at a table of
That's a
10.
good idea.
That way they get exposure also to our elected officials. Because I'm sorry, if you're giving $2,500 to the event,
So then we wanna adjust on the sponsor package to say reserve table.
a reserve table, leave the admission for 6. And include a reserve table for the title sponsor. And something that we need to follow up on this year that we didn't do the last. I don't remember doing it last year, maybe I'm off and I missed it. That when we do get that title sponsor locked in. If it's Ocean Bank this year, great, or whoever it ends up being,
Go
to do
live
the check, no, to do the check presentation
At their,
at council, or either at the council meeting. Or,
okay,
you know,
we did it the year before that though.
I remember,
Or 2
I wanna
years
say
ago.
2 or 3 years ago, I went with Ryan to somewhere in Doral,
Might have been New World.
New World, I think it was New World, it was.
Yeah.
That I went and I did something
Yeah.
there with Ryan, we did a video there. But I wanna say that was at least 2 years ago,
Okay,
cause last year Ryan was chair. So yeah, it had to have been at least 2 years ago.
we'll circle back to that and once we get the sponsor. And then did we confirm there, did we also put that it's first right of refusal
Yes,
for the following
that's
year?
here, first right to refusal for the following year,
Perfect.
that's in
So we
the
know-
title sponsor
We know
package.
exactly what to go to right now.
Yeah, they get first crack and,
But yeah, we need to send that out to our title sponsor.
So that they can already have it.
Because they go through committees and it takes longer than.
and the thing is, we also have to consider with some sponsors is letting them know that, yes, even though the event is in December, the funds are needed before that.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know we had a situation last year with one sponsor that he had budgeted it for December, so he couldn't cut us the check till December, and it was kind of tight getting the check here and. Yeah.
Let me see, when will be the best time? Or do you wanna put that on there somewhere already?
I mean, it's hard to put that on there and then limit us a little bit, you know what I mean? Because granted, I mean, if we could pull off a last minute sponsor after a deadline.
Okay.
But
So that
I just
would be-
say, I just think we need to let them know, hey, if you're willing to do it, we need it by verbally tell them,
Yeah.
not a hard deadline,
Yeah.
but if you can get it to us by mid-November, early November, just so that we can start
Okay.
planning our event, you know, it makes it easier. But, you know, obviously, once we come to a meeting in November and we're short $50 or $100 or $200, whatever, we can still go out and get somebody, and we don't have to worry that we didn't meet a deadline.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
what we'll do is once we receive it, internally, we'll go ahead and, just verbally let them know that, hey, funds are anticipated if possible to be done by November.
Yeah.
Might even ask a little earlier. If this is an issue, let us know, we'll work through it. It's not a hard deadline, but it's better we can plan accordingly and logistically put everything in place. So
Agree.
we'll verbalize that.
And some of them are the fiscal years, October first.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Same with ours, so-
Get it out to them.
Okay, so sponsorship marketing, and then obviously it's just pushing the event through
So.
our communications channel, and then once we finalize the date change, we need to push out the application.
I have a question before we set our next meeting. So the deadline for all the applications, and I'm sorry if you guys went over this before and I've missed a couple of meetings, is 8/1, and I
It's
know
going to be
Jim's
8/1.
got a database here for nominees.
It's going to be,
It's
yes,
gonna be
if
8/1,
approved in
right?
June.
That includes your database here that we discussed in that meeting that we're gonna set a date for?
He's got to submit it to the town before.
You
If it's a new one, if he has the original applicants from the past 2 years, now it's gonna be 5 years, all those are still up for discussion.
Right, right. Okay, so ideally, we wanna shoot for 4 to 5, correct?
That's ideally what we've done.
Okay.
Most of our classes have been 4 to 5.
So we've usually had more, you know, that we could vet and see which ones are the best from those. I know that we gotta reach out to Manny, because he always has a good nominee, but he's always late, okay? We gotta make sure he gets it in on
I
time.
know, I know exactly who he wants,
Okay,
because he's already had the discussion with me, which is kind of why I brought up a point a little while ago. I know exactly who he wants.
right, so we have to
You know.
get that in. For example, I don't know if you guys have discussed it, we mentioned Alex Fernandez.
Yeah.
He's on his list already for this
You
year.
got it on the list, right? Because we want to make sure that in case we, you know, when people are busy, it's the summer, everybody's on vacation, and we don't have enough nominees, we're here saying like, oh,
Well,
man, and now we just pigeonhole.
I'll be
it.
honest with you,
We gotta
Marcos,
find-
we're never not gonna have enough nominees because of the database that we do have.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
what
but-
we're trying to
but that's-
engage,
but
what we're
that's-
trying to engage is more public
But
nominations.
that's what I'm asking, that database already meets that requirement.
It will.
8/1,
Yes,
okay,
Yeah,
that was just,
once approved, it will,
okay, great,
and like I said, because the issue we've run into is technically it's April 1. We've always asked for extensions,
Mhm.
but now once we get this formalized on the actual resolution amended, it'll go to 8/1, and all of Jim's can go in, and then everything we receive from June 11th through 8/1 is all valid.
It's
and then our most important meeting, because we've got
Would be-
very little time.
is 8/6.
between right, is that week of
Yeah.
8/6, that's the
Correct.
one that's gotta go in the calendar like
Correct.
tomorrow. That we all gotta make sure we commit to that date, because everything else we kind of do by the fly, we need to raise more money. We need to plan, but.
Yeah.
Meeting that requirement, we gotta make sure we all set aside that date.
Let me see here, sure, also.
And is there a time, Jim, that I can look at who's in the pool?
Well, it's not really a pool, it's just I've got like 20 names here, most of them I shared with you, but I brought the list, if it's appropriate, I was gonna pass it out at some point in the meeting and say, these are 20 candidates to the future.
Right.
And one of my comments was, I think we need to look at people in generalities as what category are they on? I wouldn't like to see all baseball in for 1 year and then
Correct.
next year's all football. It should be
Yeah.
kind of like balanced, I think.
I think that would be great, so when we come to that August meeting, we've kind of done.
Have
the
an
reading
idea.
beforehand,
You have-
right?
So what I can do is, we took it down because I didn't, knowing that we're gonna change the deadline, I didn't want to put, right, the public didn't have a chance to input anything because the deadline's technically April. So I
Right.
didn't want to consider anything until we have the public chance to speak.
Okay, that's
Now,
fine.
what I can do though is before the August meeting, I can, whatever you have,
Email us,
you can email it and I can shoot it out to everybody.
so we could prepare.
Yeah.
Before
August 6th, yes.
Yeah.
And we're not just reading.
And it
what
won't,
we're
it
trying to
won't, it
decide.
won't just be
Right.
gyms, anything else we receive, I will
Correct.
send to everybody.
That way we can come in already
Prepared.
having vetted that and prepared to, okay.
20-minute meeting, I like it, you want a 20-minute meeting?
No, not 20 minute meeting, so like.
Well, there,
taking
and,
it-
All four of
there's
those.
there's two
Yeah.
people that have reached out to me, but I don't know if they're already on your list, then I don't need them to go
But-
through all this.
But no, at the end of the day,
We want them to get used to going through that
yeah,
process.
at the end of the day, we want,
But I don't know if
the
they already
public.
did.
Yeah.
They might already have.
yeah, no,
I don't
that's
know.
Jim, no,
That's
no, no,
only
that's,
Jim.
that's Jim's work.
Oh, okay.
This is 20 names in, jumped out of this on the way here.
Yeah,
Just 20 was only.
Oh, I
So-
thought those were the pool of
No,
people that
no,
haven't got
no,
selected
no,
before.
no, no.
Oh.
Have you ever watched the History Channel at home?
I love them.
This man's like the History Channel on steroids. If we ever lose him in that database, I'm telling you.
so
it's just.
at the end of the day, and that's why,
He
when,
knows this.
So my
Right
two
or
people,
wrong,
I'm
Dave?
still gonna have them go through the.
yes, I would still have, wait after,
Okay.
obviously wait till June 11th,
No, I got.
that it reopens,
Yes, yes,
and then
yes.
have them, because
Okay.
we will always prefer the public to make the
I
nomination
got you.
than the, than the committee.
Right, no, I told them, I wasn't, I preferred me not nominating who they told me. I said, I can make sure
But it's
that when this
okay,
goes
it's
through.
okay.
It's okay if you have to,
Yeah, no,
it's okay to do it, but again, we prefer the public.
yes, to.
So we have public input, because,
So if
you
people
know.
question, you can say. it
I
was
like
open
that
public.
process. You'll send it to us a couple of days before. We have time to read it and then we have an efficient meeting.
Well,
Knowing
is-
that.
Is there a problem if I pass this out so that they could also maybe do some research on their own in case we don't, or is that?
Technically, like I said, the issue lies with,
that right now we're past the deadline.
we're past the deadline.
So after June 11th, you
Well,
get,
this is, yeah, these are for 25, 26, and 27
You can,
in years. This is for like the future.
this is future years, not this year.
you're living in the future already.
No, I mean.
Yeah.
telling you, man.
He's prepping us for something, I'm telling you.
Let's do this, because they're still considered nominations, even though they're years well beyond any deadline.
Okay,
Wait till the June 11th, and then as soon as you send it to me, June 12th,
oh, okay.
I can send it to the board immediately. But the biggest thing is what Marcos was saying, that I want to make sure you guys have 2 to 3 days before the meeting with all nominees on
So
the
we
table.
come in here
I got
prepared to, yeah, we're not discussing, we're not reading it while we're having the meeting.
Yeah. Right.
And you can also independently start creating priorities, you can, all right, this person, and if obviously there's anybody that doesn't meet the criteria, hopefully with 5, 6 eyes, we can go ahead and make sure we rule anybody that we need to.
And basically, this is the criteria we're looking at.
Yeah, the only thing is the amendments that will go through on June.
All right, yeah.
All right, committee update, we kind of already did.
On sponsorship marketing, because this is where I know that there might be heartburn on. So I will work with communications, along with Andres, and we'll put together a campaign. What may be expected, maybe not what we're gonna. I guess we wouldn't recommend sometimes the expectations people have when it comes to marketing. Sometimes other committees wanna say, twice a day, I want it. It becomes noise.
I agree.
It becomes noise. So typically what I would put on is either weekly, at the most bi-weekly, and it wouldn't just be post. Majority it won't be post. It will majority be either stories or reels. If we'll get some of the footage from last year, we'll put it together as a reel. But it won't always be on the front page of social media.
And that's fine.
So, but I think twice a week, or it may even be weekly, and then we ramp it up the closer we get to it to go to twice a week. But is there anything else that you guys were thinking of?
Because obviously, I think last year at one point they wanted to reveal the class. I'm opposed to that.
No.
The class needs to be revealed that night. Obviously, we reveal the class to the council, so whoever's watching the council meeting knows what the class is, if they're smart enough. But on social media, I like the whole, that's why we hide the plaques that we hide. We cover the plaques on the wall. If you know you're there for a reason, but,
Thinking creatively, do we want to do we can talk about their stats or talk about them, but not name the person? Like, this individual will be nominated, and he or she, and you can kind of give.
or
some
this
of their-
person will be inducted and they did this, and this.
Yeah.
You wanna know who it is?
I could put a little
Join
silhouette-
us.
We put a little, a fake silhouette
Yeah,
picture.
you wanna know who it is? Join us December 14th at 6:30,
Correct.
Optimist Park.
Correct. And
Um,
release that throughout the week leading up.
You could-
However, and
You could make that a game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
In a sense, like online, through social media,
yeah,
you say, you know.
maybe through Instagram. and
Figure
stuff
this
like that.
out, or it's kind of like a scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
way. Get
But
some-
at the same time, let's just use somebody from last year, Jose Enriquez. He's gonna know he's getting inducted, he's gonna invite his entire
And that's fine.
family and all that, and so it's gonna get out anyways that he's being.
And it will get out. I mean, it's gonna
Okay.
get out at the council meeting, because anybody who's watching the council meeting or looks up council meeting minutes, they know once we give our report to council of who we're nominating for their approval.
So,
Is that,
but, so why hide it from the public? You might get people that are seeing it to go because, oh my God, this guy was my coach, I'm going now. But if you're hiding his name, that person that's seen on social media doesn't catch on to it, then they don't go. I'm just wondering that point, because if you're telling, you want people to come, they're coming because Jose Enriquez was my coach and that's why I'm showing up. I'm not showing up if it's a silhouette and you're giving stats and I'm like, oh, that could be anybody. I don't know, that's my take on it. You want people there, people are gonna see the post, see the person, and that's why they're gonna go. You're gonna go to an event because so-and-so is singing at the event. That's my opinion,
Bingo.
but that's at a later date for social media as far as that's.
no, but I mean, it's something to consider now. Because I have to put together, I have to sit down with communications and tell them, hey, let's plan it out. Because when I do a campaign with them, I want to make sure that we are saying this week, this is gonna be the focus for this week. And as we get closer, if we get to that, that may be maybe we do that up early once we get the nominees approved, and then we do it again leading up to the week of the event. So that way it's twice, we actually show and I believe communications, and Austin talked to me about this, it was almost to put like a digital version of the wall. Like up on the post, like the plaques already showing you who's gonna be nominated. I think that's what they wanted to do. I can agree, that might pull more people in. You might just be swiping and catch, oh, I know this was my coach in high school. And okay, the event's this date, maybe I wanna show up, so.
something to think about, definitely.
No, but you have to decide, don't we have to decide now?
That doesn't have to be
Yeah,
now.
it can,
We can wait till August on that.
yeah, you can wait till August. At the end of the day, it'll happen once we know who the approved nominees are.
Question, going back for a second to sponsorships, because I know we discussed at the last meeting, because I know the mayor's been on my tail to launch the Sports Hall of Fame podcast. But obviously that requires sponsorship dollars to pay for.
As far as the podcast, what does it entail?
It would be interviewing Hall of Famers that are already inducted,
Got you. On the mayor's podcast.
not on Vox Pop,
Okay,
it would be our own, basically. And they quoted me, it was $100 for, we would have to pay $100.
Mhm.
And that would get us, I think, 4 episodes.
We have 155. I mean, but if you're saying something.
I think,
But-
I think if you kick that off, you gotta kick that off on Manny's first, and then,
I've been trying that
And
for
then-
3 years.
because I think if you just do a Hall of
Because
Fame.
the thing is, my,
podcast,
and I've had this discussion with Jim, my goal
He's gotta kick
is
it
the
off,
first
promote it.
the
then
first
someone you have.
interviewee in the Hall of Fame podcast is Manny. Because this was
His baby.
his baby, this was his idea, this is what it is because he thought of it as a council member
Yeah, I can see that part.
X amount of years ago.
But how do you get the traffic? With a new podcast?
Well, no, the traffic, you're gonna get it because the town will promote it.
Yeah, but
I know certain people will promote the heck out of it.
I'm thinking logistics here, right? So the $100 gets you the 4 episodes, right?
Correct.
What's
And
the scope of that $100?
It's the editing, basically.
So the editing version, and then where we would do it? So the existing, okay.
And with the existing editor that does like the Chamber of Commerce one,
Okay,
that's who would be directing it. Basically,
Is that Tico?
yeah, I'm just trying to think of impact and if there's anything else on our end operation we would need. No, I mean that, on my end, first time I hear, so I need to work out the logistics.
I mean,
but
we
yeah.
announced it last year at the ceremony that it was coming. because it was pushed by the mayor at that time. And I know the Optimist Club was
All for it.
all for it, you know. So, and then when I've been reached out a couple of times and I said, okay, I need to know a cost. So they reached out with a cost and we said, okay, we just gotta find sponsors now. Because I think the sponsor gets the logo and then what they would need would be the sponsor logo and our logo is what they need for the broadcast. And then they would edit the video.
So what that means, we're gonna have to put together a different sponsorship package just for the podcast.
Or add it as a podcast sponsor, like a bottom line, because it's $100.
We're gonna get to like three pages with the, on that document. I think this. But at 100, is the goal to,
Not to make money, it's just to break even on that.
and at $100, do
We're
we
breaking
want,
even.
do we want to create sponsorship packages or just utilize the existing funds?
I would say utilize existing funds.
Yeah.
Because that gets real complicated on, and
I
it
mean-
might not be something you continue, because if it's not popular,
Like, I mean, ideally, at first thought was obviously the mayor being guest one. And then we can get from the first class somebody.
That's not-
Obviously-
that's not-
Obviously, coach is no longer with us, so it's not like we can get David to come. I don't know if David's living locally, I don't think, right?
No, he's doing.
So of the first class, it would be Alex maybe, Ochoa, who's local,
I think some of us know.
and
I think some of us know Alex Ochoa.
Yeah.
Some of us.
then the second class, we could always hit Jim, and then when Dave's class comes up, we hit Dave. It doesn't matter that they're committee members, they're Hall of Famers,
Mhm.
but that way they can tell their story. Cause like, one of the biggest stories we had last year was Adrian. Adrian's story was, everybody loved Adrian's story. So that would make for a great podcast. I don't know if I can condense that to 20 minutes though.
I don't like his story. Watson hit a lot of home runs against Matter County. So I don't like that.
So I don't know if we can condense his into 20 minutes, but we have to, you know what I mean? But, cause I know the mayor was trying to get him on Bucks.
Offline.
Yeah, he was trying to get him on that one because he reached out for the contact info. But I know Adrian's been traveling left and right now.
Okay, so at $100 for 4 episodes.
I think it was 4 episodes. It was an hour's worth of,
What is the annual goal? How many podcasts you want to do a year?
I mean, my goal would be at least 2 to 3 months prior to the ceremony. That way you promote the ceremony.
So it would only be during that.
I would say maybe 2 a month. So let's say 8 episodes total. So really, we would need $200 a year. We just gotta make the time to film them also. We gotta coordinate with them to film and coordinate with the guests to be here for the 20 minutes of filming.
Yeah, like I have no issues with on the coordination side. I think Marcos said it with at 200. I think creating a sponsorship package.
No, I don't think it's worth creating a
And
package.
then it goes to it. What if we don't get sponsored for 2 or 3 of these? And
Yeah.
kind of falls short there. Okay.
But the thing is, if we use existing funds, we don't know where those funds came from. So how do we put a sponsored logo?
Well, that's what I'm getting at.
Well,
Do
you
you
just-
need to sponsor the podcast?
No, I mean, unless we put a town logo, we just put the Hall of Fame logo
Right.
for those first couple of episodes.
Because we're using the Hall of Fame budget, $100 of what we already have.
At least and maybe we start that with just 4 episodes this year. And then if it works, then next year we know, okay.
I think, and it starts gaining traction in it, and we know there's gonna be appetite for sponsorships, then we can work on that package and that deal.
Yeah.
Complete.
Yep.
So it's its own standalone package.
Perfect. All right, so I mean, Jeremy, I'll get with you so we can finalize the first 4. I mean, I think it should be the mayor to discuss how he came about this. And I think we should pick one from each of the first 4 classes. I think locally you're talking probably Alex Ochoa representing the first class, Jim representing the second class, and then we'll need one more from the third class, which I'll have to go back to my notes.
Maybe we can get Tony, Nathan to
Nathan?
do the second class, yeah. Because he lives in Miami Lakes.
Mhm.
That would be a good draw.
I don't know, Hamilton's a pretty good draw too.
I was gonna say.
Jim's a huge draw. Okay, so class 1, Shula, Mandich, Ochoa, McCall, unless you put Chris in there, but I think Alex is bigger names.
Yeah.
Second class, Nathan Hamilton, Joelle, Sarah Seidner. Sarah Seidner is
It's
just
probably
impossible to get a hold
On,
of.
yeah, on location somewhere.
Yeah, so,
Really shot at.
and then, I mean, Joelle is so hard to get a hold of because now he's up at Akron. I think it's Akron. Third class would be Porciani, Oliver, Zapata.
Which Oliver and Spot are pretty close.
I'll take Oliver.
Yeah. So I think that's a good starting
And then
point.
I think the mayor should be episode 1. You know, now we just gotta get it into his schedule. That's the hard part.
That's another one.
That's another.
But I
like,
can already start working on scheduling with Joseph and see.
Yeah, and then I just gotta get with Tico to see when he has time to be able to, so that we can fill these.
Okay,
So we can come get a consensus of date and then we can hit up all these people.
okay. Yeah, the biggest thing is just obviously, it's on my end funding, and the most of them, the large sum of the logistics is already set up. And it's just communications of getting people there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, committee updates, we already went through that. So I guess I put it twice because of the appointments and stuff like that, no business. I mean, the update is we have 1 seat available. We have Marcos back in the fold. And then we'll see what the new council member, who he nominates and stuff like that.
yeah, if there's anything else from the committee, this is kind of the committee
Yeah.
update. If there's anything you guys have heard or seen or anything we can do better, on our end, feel free to let us know. Because we definitely wanted to continue to grow and be the event that
Right.
we envisioned from the get-go, and we're just making, year by year, we're working towards that.
And I think it's been positive change every year, so. You know, when we went from,
I'm gonna do the intro now.
No, but I'm saying, I don't know if they made it official, the package, or is that on?
we're not gonna, no, we're not gonna amend the package for the podcast, we're just gonna probably use the.
No, not the podcast,
I'm in the use of the funds.
the $250 as bronze, and then
Oh, that was it.
Yeah, that was
The amendment to the motion, and then the main motion got approved
Yeah.
as amended.
And then, so,
50, right? Bronze.
Yeah, and the only other thing on the agenda that we added, is gonna be the introduction. So as I mentioned, Andres Pinero is taking over for Austin Tubbs. He has become our new, Parks and Athletics Manager. So apart from overseeing, our 2 athletic sites, Royal Oaks and it's Optimist Park, managing all the, program providers' contracts, he is also going to be your liaison moving forward. Andres has worked for the town, just so you guys know, over a year now. Andres has been an intern prior to that, and then worked as our arbor coordinator. His background is sports and recreation. He is, an athlete, a baseball player, well, similar, same thing, right?
tomato, tomato.
Played for St. Thomas, so he's a big sports guy, so I know he's gonna be a good fit here. And like I mentioned, Andres worked for a year in the department. He knows our expectations, and he definitely knows, that at the end of the day, it's all about customer service and how to make events better, and anything we do, how to make it better. So I know you guys will be in great hands moving forward. I just wanted to go ahead and make that.
You're welcome to come out on Monday and Wednesdays, play in the geezer games and keep fit, okay?
You gotta be careful, because some of them are using some shaved bats out there, and it's hot, the ball's coming hot off the bat.
Only if you're on his team.
Got it.
Andres, welcome,
Thank you.
welcome to the team. We welcome you, obviously, we're missing one person, here, which is Ryan, who's our previous chair. And then obviously our one opening, but most of us have been here for a minute now. I think I was one of the 2 founding members of the committee, and then Jim came in right after. As a 3rd member, and then we've been building it little by little. As you heard, three of the members of the committee are already in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So, you know, we hold them in high regard. And stuff, so, you know, we tend to do things quick. You know, we've gotten this down to a science, I guess. And now it's just building it, you know, now it's just making it what we envision.
Mhm.
Which eventually is a enclosed tent with air conditioning and 300 people out in the Optimist Park.
And instead of just plaques, it's also gonna just like the sports, like the football Hall of Fame, we're gonna have
Jackets and rings.
cow jackets, cow print.
We talked about that last year, don't knock it, because we talked about it.
Cow print jacket, I looked it up.
We talked about
There's
it.
one it's hard to find, but there's one that looks pretty good.
Yeah, no, we did talk about the cow print last year with Marcos, and remember Marcos bringing up the cow print jacket, you know? Now, eventually we gotta get the Hall of Fame rings, though, we gotta get those rings in there. Yeah, but that might cost us a pretty penny eventually.
That's a good, oh, we'll get a good sponsor that's a jeweler.
There you go. Won't be my mixed jewelry.
Mhm.
Anyhow, okay, so next meeting, so we agreed to August 6th. Is everybody okay with that? Can you look at your calendar there, Jeremy?
Yeah, so August, I have a hold already proactively. I put on the 5th, Monday, just because there's a planning and zoning meeting and I gotta double check if there's streaming services that are necessary, which I believe there are.
The thing is, August 5th, there'll be an Optimist Club meeting.
That is right.
It's a board meeting.
Can we do,
Oh, wait, in August, I don't know, I think,
We're
No,
dark in
and
June,
we-
July.
yeah, you're correct, that's right, we're going back in.
That'll be our first meeting back at the Optimist board.
I thought it was just vacation.
we can,
Because I mean, how fast would I need to turn around a committee report to get it to you for that 13th meeting?
so I would need it by. So
It's the 6th
I,
out.
I would need it. The 6th, I have to confirm, that the only thing with the 6th would be, we'd have to either do a 5:30 to 6:30 meeting firm. Which I have to still confirm with the clerk's office if they feel confident they can turn off here and then stream over there really quickly. Or we can do 5,
Because the 6th
6:30.
is a zoning meeting
yeah, planning and zoning
at 6:30.
at 6:30. I can also look. Agenda gets generated.
Does anybody have a problem getting here at 5?
I get out of work at 5.
Okay.
That's fine.
Are you okay?
Yeah. School hasn't started.
Oh.
So yeah, we can plan it for 5, and then when you get here, we can bring you up to speed and then make the final adoption then. And that'll give us.
Definitely
5:30 to
it's important
6:30.
that we get that email so we could,
Yeah,
go through and have all our thoughts.
Okay, so let's go for 8/6 at 5.
8/6 at 5. Once I confirm everything, I'll send you guys a calendar invite. And then we'll be squared away. Yeah, the agenda gets generated on Wednesday.
So I'll have a late night on Tuesday.
No, because we can put the report and then it'll be verbal, and then you can just bring it by the 13th, you'll be fine. The biggest thing is gonna be though, knowing the individuals.
Anything else from anybody? Comments?
Make a
Concerns?
motion, we get adjourned.
Motion by Dave Oliver to adjourn at 6:52.
I'll second. All in
Second by
favor?
Marcos, all in favor? Any opposed? If you oppose, get out.
All right, guys. Have a good evening.
I'm going to
No, she can't make it.
All right, we're live. All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Brian Rodriguez, Chair for the Town of Miami-Lakes Youth Activities Task Force. This is our regularly scheduled meeting. It's a little bit different because of the days. Today is May 16th, 2024. I'm going to call this meeting to order at 7:06 PM. If we could have a roll call, please.
Brian Rodriguez,
Present.
Mauricio Costco, Ariana Ventas present, Angelica Torres, Leila Coviella, Robin Amador,
Here.
Gabriela Vega, present, Leonardo Madeira, Ana Soto, Taylor Carvalho, Haley Prieto, present, and Pilar Hernandez.
Perfect. And we have one. I'm gonna open up public comments. Is there any public comments in the room? Please state your name and then you are free to speak.
You want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Carolina, I have my last name. I graduated last year from FIU. I've known Ariana for many years. We went to high school together.
Perfect.
She's coming to visit or she's been on, she wants to.
I like.
Sorry. Thank you. Welcome.
Hi, my name is Tiffany Tabora. I attend the University of Miami with Ariana. We're different majors. She's way in a different level. She's amazing. I've known her since like second grade. Wow, just she graduated recently, and it's just like, time. Anyways, I am also here because I'm interested in joining the community, and this is the first time I've ever even stepped into the town hall. So. We have adults.
All right, anyone else in public comments?
My name is Lorenzo Pineda. I'm in sixth grade. I go to Bob James Regional Center. And, I'm Leila Covilla's younger sibling.
Welcome. Well, Senor. Anyone else for public comments? Seeing none, public comments is now closed. Move on to item 4, adoption of minutes. Go ahead and read through the minutes for a minute or two. If you see anything that needs to be changed, feel free to make a motion to change it. If not, feel free to motion to accept the minutes if you want.
Definitely.
A motion to accept. I'll second.
We have a second, and discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. We'll move on to item 5, order of business, referrals, additions, deletions. Is there anything anyone wants to add, remove, or defer to the next meeting on the agenda? We'll move on to that. Old business, we'll move on to item 6, the Youth Advocacy Award. I know Mertz isn't here, but do we have any updates on that? Connie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
So that was presented to Ashley Boo, a senior of Argonne Senior High.
Actually, who?
Ashley Boo.
Oh, okay.
I know in the last few minutes, we were to do a proclamation, or presented a certificate at the council meeting on May 14th. But since we didn't move forward with that, would we like to do it for June instead?
so a few things with that. Whatever happened with EAB? I know we were trying to partner with EAB.
We presented it, we gave it to.
So what was the invite to the committee?
There was no invite to the.
That's the problem. It's
Wait, but I
in
thought
your
it was
word.
gonna be the May 23rd. Didn't Mark say it was gonna be May 23rd?
Originally, I think it was, but
So-
like.
Yeah, they moved it.
Yeah, they moved it.
So for next time, I think if it's a committee award that our committee is giving out, we need to invite the whole committee to this. Because it's not
Yeah.
fair that we're voting on stuff and working on this and not invited to an event that with our award.
You mean you want them to invite the whole committee?
Either that or we don't give that award.
Yeah.
Cause I wasn't even told about it.
I know.
I just saw pictures all of
I
a
know
sudden
some of
on
our
social
committee-
media and then.
Some of our committee members presented the awards, that they're already there, but I understand what you're saying, that you didn't get an invite.
The whole committee should have got it.
I
We all
understand.
voted on it. We
There
all
was
voted to
limited
be in.
seats. So let
Like
me,
even to just show up, give the award and leave. It doesn't
let me
matter.
get this straight. Who went to the awards?
Moritz, I, Pilar, and someone.
Four of us were there.
And nobody else, okay.
Yeah.
I think I can have that one.
It's not cool.
Well, they didn't do an invitation. They didn't do an invitation.
But it's not right towards the rest of the committee. I'd rather not even present it there and present it with ourselves as the committee itself and present it without us.
I understand what you're saying.
It's not right. Just because you're on that education advisory board doesn't give you the right as going on behalf of the committee without inviting the rest of the committee.
Mhm.
So keep that in mind for next time. If not, we're not gonna do it with them anymore. I don't think it's a good idea.
Well, worst case scenario, we can just present it to.
I'd rather
present it
do it
to-
with
So are we still gonna do it at the council meeting on, during June?
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay, do we have to
So-
vote on that, or?
so just so you know, okay, I don't think that you are aware, I don't think that many of you are aware. Pilar was trying to get a hold of
That's what
a
I'm about.
$200, oh, please.
Yeah, no, I was like, about to ask you, because I don't have.
No, oh, you don't have it?
I know I don't have it.
So she was unable, she was unsuccessful, and it's okay, it happens, her husband. Decided to go ahead and do it, it's not 200, it's, I believe it's 150.
Layer eight.
Oh.
Layer eight.
Correct, it's not under his name, it's under his company name, which is acceptable. I checked with the town attorney and he was cool with that.
What is this? I'm so lost.
It's because the scholarship that we
They
give with
got
the
a
award.
sponsorship.
Sponsorship
Oh,
for the
okay.
scholarship.
So she'll get.
Wait, is it for the scholarship or is it for the award? That's gonna.
For the scholarship,
Yeah,
The scholarship.
the award.
well, yeah, so that's gonna be presented
To ask.
We'll do that.
at town.
For the town meeting in June.
Mhm.
Perfect. All right, anything else on that?
Do we need to be here for that, or is it, are we gonna?
It would be nice.
Cool, just-
You're all invited.
Yeah, just
What's
because
the date? for
I'll
that
pull it up right now.
It's the second Tuesday.
Yeah, second Tuesday. It's, hold on, my computer's freezing.
meeting?
The 11th. At 6.
June.
Yeah, I was just making sure that, that's good. We're not having any meetings in June.
No.
Not sure yet.
Okay.
We have to look into it. I'll look into it.
I didn't know
And I'll
that.
talk to you about it. Usually it's towards July that we do that.
No,
but
official administration 7.
I'll let you know for sure.
Almost at 6.
All right, we move on to sponsorships. Bringing this up every meeting because we need sponsorships, so go out, look for sponsors. I've already exhausted mine, so I don't really have many right now.
Should we try again and go out for like Halloween or bike
Sure.
rodeo?
I think we said. we're gonna do
Whatever-
it.
whatever.
Bike rodeos or
Yeah.
I think bike rodeos mainly covered, it's more Halloween.
I mean, since we don't have a meeting in June, should we like plan it now, like what
Set a
day?
date.
And yeah, set a date.
It's up to you guys.
I think we should, just to see
They go with this,
date.
ask for sponsors. I guess.
It can be, you know.
I don't mind as long as it's not. Wednesday.
Well, we could do a
Do a
group text
weekend.
for that instead
Yeah.
of.
Yeah, weekend is better, yeah.
Yeah, we'll do a group
We'll
text
do
and
it.
we'll, hey, no, because it's not for a meeting, just to go get together to go ask for money. We can do the group text just to
Yeah.
figure out the dates, just to figure out the dates.
Rob.
right?
If you don't mind my asking, I know that, for the summertime, since school is out. Is there any availability with you, you know, right here and there? And the reason why I'm asking is because maybe if the team here decides to do a certain date. If you could just show up for a couple of them, yeah, just so I kind of see that this is something legitimate, it's not, you know, they're not coming out of nowhere, you know?
Yeah,
They will be in the afternoon, the same.
I think we
Yes.
said the best time, because when we went in the afternoon, a lot
Oh,
of
weekend
owners were
might
not
be
there.
better.
They like a weekday in the morning, because usually when the owners are there, right? That's when they had told us when we went, when we were going to the places. They're not there in the afternoon. When we were showing up at 4 o'clock, they weren't there. The
Yeah.
owners were gone.
I know
It
you're,
has to be like in the morning.
I know you're busy, I know you have trainings. I know
We're like
you're-
10-ish, 11-ish, por ahí, like 10, 11, por ahí.
Oh, the good thing about the summer is that without the schools being in the way,
Oh.
there's a lot
A little
of
bit
times
more.
that, yeah, that as long as I'm here, because that's when they do the trainings and they
Right.
want to do, you know, and I actually try to take some vacation.
No problem.
Really, I'm here all the time.
I'll get some, before we leave today, I'll try to get some dates from you, like, if you can, or write me on the back of the paper, write me like dates when you're blocked off, that you know that you're not gonna be in town for vacation, and that you have trainings, if you know the dates already, and then we can plan around that.
Yeah, I mean, it's June 11th with everyone, since we're here.
Doing that on Tuesday, well, I have to
I'm
check.
working. June 11th is a what?
Tuesday.
For me, as long as there is a day I'm good, because there's a council meeting at night. That's the second Tuesday.
I'm good too, because, you know,
I can- yeah,
some-
that week is-
keep in mind, if you are gonna bring a packet,
Just
that
look here,
what
dates.
isn't on the packet is, you could ask them, it doesn't have to be an in-kind donate, excuse me, it doesn't have to be a monetary. It could be an in-kind, it could be, water bottles, which, you know, we have to provide for the sponsors, the volunteers, us. Food, very, very
Holiday
essential.
decorations.
Yes.
Anything.
Yeah, candy, you know, anything of that nature, and you can always,
Yes.
you can always tell them, hey, you don't have to give it to us now, maybe if you wanna make a collection and bring it to us at the end of the month,
Mhm.
that helps.
I think,
Tremendously.
anything, send out a text like the 10th, and then we can contact everybody and see through, which dates are better, but if he gives me some dates before we leave, we can kind of narrow it down.
Okay.
But we know it has to be in the morning on a weekend. When everybody's not out of town.
All right. I think that's it for sponsorships. We'll move on to bike rodeo. Officer Amador, any updates?
Well, I'm trying to get more than what we had last year, so everywhere that I'm going, it looks like I might be able to ask for something, so to not just have our stuff. And then, but with our stuff, including like the horses, you know, like we're trying to get more,
More cool.
just to make it
I-
like a bigger thing. The only thing is that we have to figure out, is it gonna be?
Yeah, have we looked into the location thing yet?
No, please give me, till the following week, because this week we had the recital, we have the end of the year recital at Bowman. So you know, we have all hands on deck, so we've been really, really busy with that. By next week, I should be able to get a hold of, Rachichi to ask her.
Do they have, does the, event,
What do you mean, the schedule?
trying to say, is there any involvement with that parking lot with them on the street? To where we can tell them, listen, if you guys give us an okay, help us out, this is gonna help you out, because we're gonna have more people come to our event
Yeah,
and then commingle, and it's gonna help them too.
Yeah, well, I don't believe it is, that area is hard, there's hardly ever anyone parked there.
even during the.
Correct, correct. And you have to understand, a lot of people go walking to that event. And those that go in car, they find little spots here and there, but I've never seen it. Really, to the point where it says, we shouldn't have it here. There's a lot of cars, parking. So I'll give it a try. Remember though, she did mention last year about the revamping of certain parking
They've been saying that for
lots.
years.
I know. I'll give it a try. That's,
Is it
what's the worst?
Andrea?
What's the worst that can happen?
Is it Andrea from the group?
Mhm.
Let me know, so we go together. I have a
Absolutely.
good rapport with Andrea.
Take it to pizza season. Go ahead and slice of pizza.
Perfect. So we'll keep on working.
Not bribery, it's not bribery.
Randy, if you need me to go during the summer, I'm here, so I can also go with another board
Perfect,
member. to go.
perfect. Yeah, that'd be cool. Man, the more the merrier, this is something that,
Bring up business too.
this is something that we put our heart into. So, she sees that, oh, wow, Mr. Soto brought, Mr. Amador and Mrs. Soto and some of the other team. That would help. That is beneficial in my opinion.
Haley's here, so.
I'll be here too, yeah.
Keep in mind, it's one of the oldest events in the town. I think it's the second oldest.
Maybe they see the whole, almost.
Are we still gonna do the scavenger hunt for it? Like the little bike scavenger hunt thing, the bike party?
Did we do that?
I think that's a little complicated.
We talked about it.
If I'm being honest with you, I like the idea like that birds have, they go at different stops, but I think like it's a little complicated
Yeah.
instead of a normal bike ride.
I don't
Yep.
think, well, I don't think it has to be like we hide stuff. It could be, it could just be like, oh, take a picture and blank, blank, blank. and then whoever has all the pictures. you can-
Yeah, but that's also complicated because you have people stopping, it stops the whole movement of the bike ride.
I was even suggest that we didn't have a lot, we haven't had a lot of, I don't think too much acceptance for the actual bike ride itself. We haven't had a lot of people come out. That we concentrate more on the event,
I'm okay with that too. That's how.
and then
it
we
used to
can kind of X that out and,
be. We can always look into that.
and we can do 3 hours maybe of the event, but like 3 concentrated hours.
Did we speak about having, I know we spoke about integrating the bike ride into the actual hours of the event.
Yeah.
Are we doing 1 hour of a bike ride?
Well, I was saying to just X out the bike ride.
Yeah.
and
We
X
can
out the
go-
bike ride?
Yeah,
We can go back to
concentrate
how
on
the event used to be.
the event itself.
Okay, that's good, that's good. Down for it.
Fine with that. We could think about it and discuss it next meeting,
Mhm.
yeah, but for sure. I think that's not a bad idea. Honestly, just focus on the,
And I should have more, confirmations.
and the good thing about having that parking lot here is we have more space.
Oh, yeah.
People can actually ride their bike.
Yeah, there's no question there. I'm
If
gonna,
not, I'd rather move it here, honestly, because there's a bigger parking lot than Mayor Collins.
you talking about town hall?
It's been done before.
We've done it here.
before, yeah.
I could get, well, I shouldn't even invite then, bike 305, right? But bike 305 is mainly for the bike rides.
Well, the good thing is they like to come out for the
Helmets.
helmets. And
Yeah,
last time
we
they gave out the helmets and it freed us up.
Okay. Okay.
We could even
That's
look at,
true.
is this a bigger park? This is a bigger parking lot than Mayor Collins, no?
Yeah.
This one?
And we need to focus on the.
This says three.
I'd rather do it here.
Yeah, we'll have to-
If we can't do it over there,
We
do
can
it
do
here.
it there.
It's something different. That parking lot's so small in Mayor Collins that it's so out of the way. You think about it? And it's there's not really many neighborhoods around it. There's one neighborhood next to it. You're gonna get more people over here when you have apartments and people everywhere over here.
Keep in mind though, it is a park. Park, it has a lot of traffic, so that might be a thing. But no,
But if we could do it over there with the farmer's market, that's even more traffic.
Yeah, no.
So first option is
Yeah.
next to the market,
Next to
right?
the market.
All right, we'll shoot it.
We're even close to it.
I think it's here, we're not that close to it, too.
Right, so
It's across the street.
It's true. We play loud music, you attract people.
And you could do like, we'll think of something, you get people to have
And if we could-
signage.
We could have,
Let
get
them
the
know.
local
Signage to
businesses right
point
here
and
involved,
start.
if you wanted to too.
yeah, no,
The
the
restaurant.
streets, I mean, you're
across
you're
the-
absolutely right about that. We're referring to Veterans Park, there's one neighborhood.
Yeah,
And we could probably get away with closing
You're
it around
surrounded.
here too.
here we're surrounded, huh?
Could we maybe, like a
Well-
flyer saying, the flyer of the event, and then we go up and down Main Street, hey guys, on Saturday.
Yeah,
we're gonna be-
yeah, I think we should.
You can
promote
post, and you post it in your
Yeah.
business.
You know
Awesome.
how for Veterans Park, or sorry, for the Veterans Day Parade, they closed the street here. Can we close the street here too to have that as like bike courses and stuff like that?
Like to have it here.
In front, just the whole parking lot on the side too, just in front of
I
town
don't
hall.
see why not.
So you got bike courses and all that stuff.
We would have to
So
talk
this-
to,
If I
All
go,
the stuff, the two roads.
Yeah, but I think
Yeah,
if people
before.
park, because of the park, I'm trying to think, the parking garage,
No, we don't block off
We don't
the
block off
garage.
the parking lot?
we just have to talk to the grounds, because Main Street is
Yeah, but.
there. I
They
mean, if
say
they wanna
how-
close it, we can close- it's a private road.
Como sign, how do people do that?
No, because we'll close off the areas that
In the morning,
don't have anything to do with the actual parking garage.
Understand, okay.
Chelas will probably work with us.
Yeah.
Maybe at
Yeah.
front of chelas,
Maybe at
like, in the front chelas, we could do some.
Water.
Right.
All right, perfect. So we'll work on that. Next is Halloween. I know it's early, but we need to plan this. We already have light effects on board. And we're gonna get into that in the next item, which is the budget. So we have to start thinking of what we're gonna do. How we're gonna do it, are we gonna change anything? I think we went over a lot last meeting. But I kind of want to start finalizing and going over details for everything. Did we discuss charging for the pumpkins at one point? I think we did, right?
I think we did, but I forgot if we shut down the idea or like the idea. I forgot like we thought.
But charging for companies.
We thought about charging.
I don't think- I think we
But I
said
think
no.
we
said
spoke-
no.
We spoke more about charging for the haunted house.
Correct, and the reason
Like
why we said.
unlimited
charging
time
for the
for
trunk or
the
treat.
haunted
It being
house.
dark.
Yeah.
That was one of the main reasons. Trunk or treat, though, that's not a bad idea.
Let's say we use the parking lot for the trunk or treat,
That's what we
And
said.
this is something you
Yeah.
have to pay.
and we can expand into the park more.
The people
We said
that
that
do
they
the
would
cars,
pay,
they pay
yeah.
a fee just to be able to display.
Like their
Like
Like having
family.
a tent, it's like having-
$25
Yeah,
fee,
10 to
let's just
30.
But here's the
$30.
question, do we give them the candy, or they bring their own?
No,
beer?
they bring their own.
That's something that we had talked about at one point, because then bringing.
So
They bring their own.
charge them $25. You know what I'm saying?
For the schools.
For that,
they
for that, charge them 15
And
and,
bringing their own candy.
and bring their own candy.
Or we can do two different prices if they bring their own candy and
Well,
then.
I would say, I would rather give them the candy just because it's from us and it's safer that way. You don't know what people.
And then at the same time, we run out of candy a lot, so I know what you're saying.
Yeah, but they can,
it-
as long as they're.
But we're
getting
gonna
it
order.
sealed.
We're ordering a lot more.
Well, I mean,
What are your thoughts on that per se, on the?
Down for it, just like.
$10 with their own candy. $10 with their own
For
candy.
them
or-
bringing their own candy, what are your thoughts, Emily?
I don't know.
People are crazy.
$10.
What I want is the lighting.
That's, we're taking.
We all want
We
like.
need as
we all
many
want
like.
better lighting.
For the,
That's a good question. That's a little bit of a.
Can we go to the town and ask, can you ask someone up there? Who might know? Whether they
If they
can
can bring
bring
their-
it in or not?
That's not fun.
If it's legal, like what's.
And I'd say we could invite the fire department, they could give out candy. The police department,
Fire department, obviously.
yeah, I know, sorry,
Okay.
they speak.
They can bring the mega truck, the
That
big
they
truck?
can do, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We can ask for it.
Yeah.
We
we should bring the bear cup.
It's one with animals.
We'll give
It's
people.
just-
books.
yeah.
That's not an animal, it's a
He
frog.
misses the pig.
This one's saying animal.
He
First
misses
of
that
all,
one.
a bear cat is a truck, just so you are aware.
And Misoto, instead of candy, they give out bullets.
Brian would like that.
Yeah, because
I
awesome.
think Brian's also thinking about bringing Peppa. to
Yeah.
fireworks. Yeah.
Fireworks.
I think you're my
Why don't we have
son.
fireworks too? Let's have fireworks, all right, let's go.
You wanna pay $25,000 for a 5-minute fireworks show, go ahead.
Sponsorship.
We'll work it out, but I'll ask, immediately.
I think we
We'll
talked
figure it
about
out.
bringing in like more interactive, like little games and stuff, like the bucket thing and all that stuff that we thought about.
Remember off the block, the little fun zone.
Yeah, but remember the ring toss that we were talking about?
Yes, I do remember that.
Free stuff that I told you about, and I sent you pictures of it at one point.
That was awesome.
They're $5 Home Depot buckets. You got a bunch of
Cones.
them.
Cones, which we have plenty of.
Cones,
Yeah.
buckets, we could paint the buckets.
And talked about that, yeah.
And beanbag, throw it at the beanbags.
Fair game.
Throw the beanbag with the bucket.
Brian, when are you going to the board about this budget?
It's not a board.
Or whatever, what's the council?
The budget
Take board. When are you going to the
I will
council?
have to go to them.
No.
Whatever.
You wanna ask them for more, but if you wanna ask them for more money, that ship is sealed, we can't ask for more.
No,
money.
yes.
We can.
At the end of the budget year, I think, right? October.
October.
Right before our event. I think at that meeting, we should all go and show up and explain how we need
Yeah,
more
it's the
lighting,
last
we need
time.
more money
Yeah,
for stuff, we need more money for this stuff. Cause they
Cultural
want this.
Affairs was able to get 4 light towers for the 4th of July.
Oh, okay.
We got 6.
Wow, that are-
No, because they're rented,
Oh,
but they got 4 and so it's that's
The
been set.
council approved it for them, is what you're saying?
Yeah, they use it from their budget,
But,
but you know, that's been set.
Purchase?
but maybe if we
No, rented for,
rent.
oh.
and it's been set, you
¿Cuánto vale, do you know, the rent?
know. other people-
Cause they
We
can
rent
find out
them
first, we can find out if we have it in the.
Yeah,
budget
yeah,
or if
exactly.
not, we can
Okay.
ask,
We always rent them anyway. We rent them.
but we didn't have four.
We had
Okay, but
2.
we
We had 3.
Three
Sorry,
and-
one didn't work.
I think we need like
Yeah.
6, I think we need like 6.
We need 4
a
to
lot.
get.
I think we need at least, if we're gonna do the trunk or treat, we need one of the parking lot.
Remember one very important thing. Each light tower
Uh-huh.
runs at about $140.
Oh.
And that's not including the drop off and the pickup, which they also charge.
That's nice.
Can we drop it off and pick it up?
I asked.
What? With,
They don't let us walk around and pick it up. They don't let you pick it up, but they charge you to.
I think it was about $800 for the for the 4 lights.
It came out to, for, no,
For the.
for R3, 693.
Not my truck, I'm playing.
Brian, you no longer have a truck.
I'm saying the towels.
For the three.
Oh, six something for the.
693 for the three that we've rented.
$700
Over and over again. I think that's already embedded here. I
Don't they
remember.
owe us 2 of them though?
But 2 of them
No,
didn't work?
they give us.
But they're gonna get
credit.
more?
I
Oh.
mean, that's a good point to make to the council for the money. Say, look, since you guys haven't put this money into the park to have these lights that they should have at the park, that we should be able to turn on and off, that are steady, not the removals that we're getting. This is why we're spending $1,000 in lights for an event. And we need the money until you guys put these lights up on the.
I'll go to the board with you. I'll go to the board with you.
We can add a line item for safety.
I don't know why I can say more. The council, we'll go.
Yeah,
we'll go.
but,
We need this.
you know,
Security.
he actually bring up a good point.
I've done it before,
It's
though.
gotten to the point
And we
where.
did that though, we've done it before, we told them that before.
And they don't want to again.
Yeah.
And they don't get them.
They even told us to raise our budget to have police presence, and they still didn't raise our budget.
Cause they could have like stadium type lights in the
Yeah.
park and then we just turn
Turn
them
them
on.
on when we need them.
Or the town should just buy their own light towers at this point.
I got one. Great idea right there.
So do we need to talk to? I think we
Yeah,
the next meeting or the October meeting? October meeting, what about budget meeting? Okay, we go October 6th.
That's what-
We go, we all have to order that. budget.
September.
I have to show up.
Okay, which one are you doing?
Which one? I don't know what the one that-
They have, maybe they have, and they lent them to us. Gables might have some.
I'll go to the-
I'll do that. I'll send-
whichever one we need to
You
ask
can
for,
talk
like,
about-
they can just see Brian by himself, they need all of us to like go on.
I also agree with what Ms. Wood was saying. I think that, you know, 11 heads versus 2 heads.
Awesome.
It's a lot, yeah.
Well, let's finish on Halloween and then we'll talk about budget. So trunk or treat, you get, we're.
Yes, we're on board with that.
But price, we just said $10.
We didn't agree on it.
We don't have to agree on it right now.
Okay.
Once we get a yes or no for them bringing their own candy from the town. Trick or treating, pumpkins, haunted house.
Are we doing the little like movie clips thing that we did at
I'm gonna try to work to see if I can get the,
Maybe.
Yeah, but they
Oscar,
don't from-
Oscar. No?
oh, yeah, dude, he did say that.
Well,
Oscar has a screen, a movie screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that way also,
But the
I
thing
mean,
is,
it
we might
wasn't
affect it.
necessarily movie clips, it was like,
We-
yeah, it was like very stuff like it was the music, so that it made sure that the music was Halloween. music.
Yeah, maybe if you guys know Halloween music this time.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember when they didn't know any Halloween songs?
No, man.
That's all
They're the ones doing the nice little.
Well, I had to yell at the DJ to play Halloween music because he didn't play any Halloween.
Clips from a Halloween like song or something.
Yeah.
It can make sure that the music is Halloween music.
Of course. I put them several years back
Like the YouTube
for a
thing.
playlist and it was great. I like you. And I was like, oh, forget it.
So I think we're okay with Halloween right now. We'll discuss more in the next.
So you all know, Light FX is in. The 2 pavilions have been safely reserved for us. Oscar is in.
How many food trucks? 10? Like last time? We had 10 last time.
I guess between 8 and 10.
And those lines were long.
do we need more, 12?
I don't know about more.
I don't think more, but.
There's no other food, so I don't know how many, they're only one.
Order ribbon, cameras that says, lips to stand up. So
Yeah,
that
that
says
says
no.
no.
Yeah, between 8 and 10.
Something Two desserts and.
Maybe I could ask Oscar to have trucks, food trucks there that are very,
Pass.
yeah, what's an easy, you know, you got
Pizza.
hot dogs, pizzas.
I liked his little, I forgot what he had like a bao bun truck. That thing was quick too.
What?
Bao buns.
Some more
I
food
think
trucks,
that's his own truck.
Yeah, it is his truck.
Okay.
some more food trucks, is that what we're saying, 12?
I think between.
We should, let's
You
talk
guys decide on
to
it,
him.
but-
I think we should talk to him and see what he thinks going off of last year too. And see what he thinks of it.
Sure.
Yeah, we need to invite him to.
Also keep in mind, it's still during the month of October. You know, es un tremendo calor. You know, maybe we should get some refreshing
Ice cream.
ice cream and shakes and, shaved ice and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Boba teas and all that stuff that,
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
That's it. You know, but
Perfect.
we should invite them to the meeting before.
Absolutely.
Before, so we know we have input from one.
Absolutely.
So we'll move on to new business, item 10, budget. In front of you all is our budgets from the last couple of years.
Yeah.
We need to go over this and decide what we want to propose. Every year I make it a point to raise it.
Yeah.
And I think the more you ask, at one point they'll say yes,
Right, right.
and not just settle with what we already got.
You would need a paperwork. It's not in the, it's not in the packet, so if anybody wants.
So if you look at our budgets that we have, I believe the adopted budget is what we got.
Yes.
But after we did have an increased budget last year from the year before that. What I'm seeing here, is sponsorships.
No, it's not.
How do we go from 36? Oh. Oh, that's elevated. Oh. So we went from 36 to 49.
So the adopted budget was 36,200. So if you see, for example, let's go to the first, bicycle rodeo. Underneath FY 2023-2024 adopted budget, it says $5,000. That's exactly what we have currently. Okay, then if you go a little lower, you go to Halloween Haunted House, we have 15,000, okay? If you go a little lower, as you can see, Ice Cream Social was still a thing
No,
until we.
amended budget is this. We have 24,000.
For Halloween.
Or is that what we proposed?
That's what we proposed.
Oh, adopted is what
Yeah.
they.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So
If you notice, Ice Cream Social is still there, it was, remember, this is an older piece of paper, an older document. It's no longer there, and the reason why we know it's no longer there is because if you see, there's up above, it says Student Volunteer Award for $200, which is added.
That's new, that's new.
So Ice Cream Social is no longer there, as you all know. Just Run is there, even though it's not an event. It is there, it's for 1,000. And then you have Movies at the Park, 7,500. And you go a little further down, you have the sprinkling, which is $7,000. And right underneath sprinkling, it says Summer Youth Employment Initiative. As you can see, it's no longer there. So there has been an update to what we currently have.
Yeah, but we don't have Just Run and Ice Cream Social, but it's here.
we do have just.
We do have Just Run.
What is that?
It's a program that's run after school.
We've had
It's not really an event.
since it started.
Yeah, they've always given it to,
It's a program that's sponsored by us.
Yeah.
We sponsor it.
We sponsor that?
yeah,
How much is there? Like 1,000?
1,000, yeah.
Oh,
And we usually use that 1,000 solo for t-shirts
For us,
for
No,
them, for the
for
kids.
them, for the kids, oh, okay. And does all of it get used, all 1,250? A lot.
yes.
It's
Or
a,
is there some that?
And they buy waters and they invite them to runs and stuff like that. They pay for it with that.
And what is this Ice Cream Social $500?
But
that doesn't exist
So
anymore.
that 500, can we put it to something else?
We did.
Where did we put it? 'Cause it's not-
Like I said, there's no document, so.
yeah,
Oh, so it's not.
just to give you an idea.
Oh, okay.
But every other number that we did discuss is current. Go ahead.
Okay, so I remember when we talked about like lowering the amount of money we spend on movies in
Movies
the
in the
park.
park, yeah.
So then we could do like a winter fest thing, which is a line item, but it was like really old and it's like all the way at the bottom.
Yes.
So then, like,
So can
would
we
it
move that down? or-
would it be too
Well, keep in mind, if I, Brian, correct me if I'm wrong here, did you guys not discuss that to just get rid of, Movies at the Park number 2 and number 3, keep number 1, and do
But
something
like,
bigger.
But do we wanna call that a winter fest? I think
or
we
do you wanna
should.
keep it under?
I don't think we
just at
should
the
call
park?
it movies in the park, cause it's not just movies in the park.
Remember, I've mentioned it before, this event could do something where we welcome the holidays, because that's when we're welcoming the holidays. right?
Let's go back
So
to
we have to
winter
put
fest.
that budget.
But like, would it be to move all that
We
money
can just
to
rename.
that line?
Are we gonna just
item?
rename?
We can just rename.
Yeah,
Will it
so
be confusing?
I'm making a list right now. Let me know if I'm missing anything. Of everything we have.
What's the art collaborative? Or, oh wait, no, never mind, sorry, it was a student volunteer one.
Okay, so right now, the line items that we actually use are Halloween, sprinkling, movies / winter fest or whatever. It's
Mhm, mhm.
the bike rodeo, the award, and just run. I think that's everything,
Keep that just run, right? Even though it's hard,
It's-
it's keep it, because it's not an event.
but it's a line item.
You're right. Well, that's a big, you're right, it is a line.
So I'd say we go for the good old 50,000 again.
Why not?
And the reason I say that is now we include safety when we present it. Lighting, police,
250,000.
I'm down for it. I'll ask for whatever the committee proposes.
We're gonna get shut down.
And just so you guys know, I just remembered now, Brian Morera, the new council member, is watching our meeting. He couldn't make it today. I have his contact information. I can share that to you guys after, but since he's watching, if you want to help us with our budget, that'd be great. Safety reasons.
Ryan's not gonna shoot it down.
But these
For
are,
the
these are
kids.
huge
For the
events
kids.
for the town, where you have 10,000, 15,000 people showing up. I think the town needs to put some money into these events.
Alright,
They're big events.
that has
We
been
wanna
our-
keep people safe and we wanna make it fun for the community, and it's a lot of people that attend these events. We're not talking about little events, we're talking about 15,000 people coming to these events.
that has been our-
Every year getting more and more.
And we've gotten bigger and bigger every year, so I think our
Getting bigger
budget
and
should get
bigger.
bigger and bigger.
Our budget's actually gone down.
And our budget has gone down?
Everything got worse.
That's just so sad, Brian. That's just so sad, really.
And you know what I'm dealing with.
We're going to that council meeting. We are going
understand,
to
Brian.
that council meeting, guys. No, really, it cannot just be Brian. If we don't all go, we need to go to that council meeting. No, but which is the one where we're gonna ask for money? Which one? September or
That's in
October?
September.
Whenever they
I'll
come.
be there. I'll put it in my calendar
Wait,
now.
September, October.
We'll
Please
know.
let us know so we can all go. Let's all go.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll make
I
posters.
agree with you.
We need money for safety. I think, hey, you know, don't worry, I got you.
So let's start off with starting to give money out. I'm okay with asking for 50,000.
I think so. I think reason.
I like that, I like that.
El billete.
Yeah, than that. Can I start with 30,000
What
on,
is it? It's a $14,000 bump? Yeah, right.
yeah. Let's start with 30,000 on Halloween. 30,000 on Halloween, 10 for spring fling.
Well, and maybe add a little more to, maybe add a little more to that movie thing, that winter.
That's what, yeah, so that's already
Rider
35.
expenses.
I put 5,000 on the
expenses.
Winter Fest.
The Winterfest is gonna be what, 5?
Well, these are just, we'd have to vote on it, but
It's a 7,500.
7,500.
Yeah, remember, we're gonna move.
So we're gonna make it 8?
oh yeah, movies at the park is no longer a thing, so.
Correct.
Well, we're just gonna rename it, but it'll be 81/8 then for movies in the park?
What do you think?
Cause it's gonna be one movie.
It's gonna be a
so-
Winterfest. It's gonna be a
So,
bunch of
I
stuff.
do, let's have.
¿Cuánto vale la película? How much is one movie? They charge us one.
Didn't they owe us one?
Yeah, we
We
have
should
one
get this
coming
one
up.
for free.
The good thing is that if we get, if we spend the money on just that, and we had Oscar kind of duplicate what he's doing at that church on Miami Gardens, it's a whole event just by duplicating that, because
And it doesn't cost us money because he's gonna, I don't think that event should be 7,500.
Maybe 5K, yeah, as a backup.
Yeah, and especially like.
He already said that he's gonna bring most of it. We talked to him.
We don't wanna, we don't wanna put all our eggs in, you know, in a basket. We,
Yeah.
and I love Oscar. I think his ideas are fantastic. But
Yeah,
let's, better to be safe.
but I'd say,
Okay, let's say 5, let's say 5.
I say 5, that should
In
be
the
enough for a
case-
movie, and if we
Yeah.
wanna add
We'll
the.
say 5.
Yeah.
So a movie, with Twilight. Would run us with everything, generator, the movie screen, the projector, the movie rights. Up to the movie that we're gonna watch and we select. If I'm not mistaken, the last time I remember, was 3,500.
And they owe us a movie,
About
Huh?
4.
and they owe us a
Well,
movie.
yeah,
But
yeah.
we're not
So
counting
they're-
that
they're
one.
not
They're
gonna-
on 4.
So you know, they're not gonna give us a free movie. They are going to discount
Like the rate.
heavily and they're gonna waive a couple of charges here and there. I have it on email, which is, you know, very, very good. From
So if you're
30
talking about 4, let's say, let's over budget, say it's 4 than what they're gonna charge us alone. If we're gonna make this a bigger event,
Mhm.
5 should cover everything, I think.
Herbs.
And if we don't use it,
Yeah.
like you said, if he provides everything, then we can.
Now remember, whatever we don't use from Halloween, we could always move to that event. If,
So
that-
then should we just do, should we stick to 4 or should we?
I'm
should we
okay
do
with
5?
doing 5,
Yeah. 500.
Well, how much do we need per, wait, hold
Oh,
on.
yeah, but, my question is.
My
why are
rodeo
you guys
still needs
lower-
5.2,
why
we're
are you
already
guys-
over 50.
Why are you guys lowering it?
We're not, because it's not just only one movie, that's why we were lowering.
Well,
So
I
keep it
mean,
at
we can
7,500.
keep it and then whatever money we don't use, we just move
But I
it.
wanna give more
Or
money
we
to
can-
bike rodeo, I wanna give more money.
No, you
to-
can move
I
it
don't
after.
know if there's any more money.
Guys, let me explain something. Bike rodeo takes
I agree.
maybe $1,500 to $2,000 tops. I'm telling you right now.
Okay, then let's drop it, if we have here.
What-
Assets are free.
I'm down with that.
My only concern is that council might cut our budget on that
3,000.
because it's only one movie.
That's what I'm saying.
Bikes, we get, you know, we
But
get.
Okay, so I have another question, do they give us a lump budget, or do they itemize for us what they wanna spend?
Yeah, I don't know.
Then I think I agree with Haley and what the girls are saying, that if it's gonna be just one movie, they're not gonna, so we can't name a
They
movie
might
in the park.
like go it lower than what we.
But if you explain to them that it used to be 3 and that now it's only gonna be condensed to 1, that
Yes,
you're saving more in the regard,
long run, yes.
because it's still only, but you still need some money for that,
correct.
you know.
And we're making
And
it
it's
a
a bigger
festival,
event.
we wanna make it a festival, so like if we wanna bring in trees, lights,
You have
something.
to
I
take
don't
into
know.
account, like I said, the holiday, decorations,
Decorations.
you have to take into account.
No, let's
you're
keep
gonna
it
get
separate.
Santa.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
And the reason,
yeah,
by the way, the
yeah,
use of the
yeah,
park
yeah.
was 9,500 before.
Yeah,
It was 9,500.
so then let's make it 10, we can do a Christmas trees.
Like,
Man, for
Every town has Christmas trees. Christmas tree. Oye, Hialeah Gardens,
helicopter.
the most
We lost
Hialeah
it.
Gardens.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, on the helicopter, Brian?
And lights, have you seen?
Hey, we lost a story.
Hialeah Gardens, the
You just
newest
guessed.
bar.
Gotta bring over.
A tree for the park would be awesome. Something that we could keep at the tree with lights, and then start a tradition with that.
Winterfest, let's rename it Winterfest. Miami Lakes,
Yeah, we gotta drop the other events lower.
Let's be optimistic.
Now we're at 50,000.
Let's see, Winterfest, 10,000.
So we're already at 50,000 with 3 events.
Wait, what?
Ah.
You see?
Okay, let's just keep it.
So why don't we focus on our bigger events first?
Exactly.
Instead of putting
Okay.
so much money to something that we've never done. We
Right,
don't even know if we're gonna do.
so 30 for Halloween,
That we
then
know
10
we-
for spring fling.
Correct.
Okay, what's the next
I
one?
go for,
75 for
I
5?
go for 5.
What other event do we have back? Oh.
Why
Bike
don't we
rodeo.
5,000 for bike rodeo? We don't need 5,000 for bike rodeo. So how much is bike rodeo? What's the minimum we need for bike?
Should we lower it to 35?
Alright,
I
listen,
think-
let me, I'll tell you,
Three?
I'll tell you
Okay.
exactly
Bare
what it is that
bones.
we spend.
Uh-huh.
We spend money on waters, we spend money on Gatorades,
The
we
show.
spend money on the BMX
We don't need-
trick stars.
Okay.
And that is all
That's true.
that we do.
How much is BMX? The other stuff can be donated. the
About,
water and Gatorade.
About 1,800.
1,800.
So why don't we just do 3?
Okay, 2,000, so yeah, 2,000.
I do 3 just to be safe. You need to have buffer.
So you wanna grab 2 from the bike road?
I'm okay with that. We could do 2, so we can make, so
I think 3 is plenty.
I think we could do
I think.
It covers.
3 for bike rodeo.
If we don't end up getting a sponsorship for bike rodeo, we still have enough funds, enough budget to purchase bikes. Enough.
Bike rodeos technically would be our last event of the year.
Yes.
So we could do it at 2, and if we need money extra, we can move, whatever we need.
So how much we're.
So we could do 2 for bike rodeo.
2? Okay.
Yeah, please.
For the award, do we wanna keep it at 200?
I wanted to give a little bit more for that award, but really, $200 is sad.
The $200 is to get the award
It's
itself.
just
to
to
get the
the.
Yeah, we get that plaque.
Yeah, we
We
don't
got
give
a
it
sponsor
We don't
for
give
that.
them money.
Oh,
Okay, I'll give them
okay,
money.
yeah.
Well, check out the acrylics, so how much they cost. The acrylics,
$200, that award costs $200.
so got you.
Correct.
Yes, okay, so far with. like,
And just
rodeo,
around
we have
1,000.
32,000. We have now,
And then, so,
Wait, let me see if I can.
we have 18,000 to play with if we wanna still ask for 50,000.
Oh, I did 8%.
so 30 for Halloween, 10 for spring fling,
So that's 40.
That's 40.
Then
We have, I know we have 40 aside.
8
So we have 8 left, minus the 200.
minus the 200 and the 1,000.
So we have,
What's 8 minus?
Just one still get.
Oh.
6,800.
yeah,
We could do 6,800 for
Huh.
the winter fest. 6,800,
If you guys.
yeah.
yeah, 6,800, and that makes 5 or 50,000.
So we're removing,
Did you count it?
we're removing money from movies and what?
Wait.
Yeah, we're only doing one movie
Yeah,
on the
so
same
we're
day.
reaching to 50,
No
but we
one
already
coming to
put
movies, no.
30 and 10. for
I think it's time to get
Halloween.
rid of movies, if I'm being honest with you.
We're not doing movies, it's a
We're doing
winter fest.
So renaming.
What's it
No,
called?
no, he-
Holiday,
he said that
holiday
was-
festival?
Yeah, we'd be doing a new.
Holiday festival, like,
We call it Winter Fest.
But it was, it's already.
Brian
it's
said
called
6-8,
winter
right?
fest. Just call it winter-
6-8, that makes 8,
winter
that makes
festival.
50 with everything, so.
winter
I have-
festival.
Say, all right, say, guys, real quick, say it one more time.
I have 30 for Halloween, 10 for spring fling, 6-8 for movies, or the Winter Fest thing. 2 for bike rodeo, $200 for the award, and 1,000 for just run, making it 50K.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
that sounds good.
My math is right.
Trust her.
I think my math.
2K for
Yeah,
bike rodeo,
I think so. I saw one.
30K
Can you
30K
double
for
check?
Halloween.
for
Yeah,
Halloween.
I did, but I'll check.
Ten for spring.
So there's
Just
200
run is
for
1,000, right?
the 1,000.
And then 6-8 for, what would be the movies, or the
Or-
movie?
How much is
the
just run,
Winter
1,000,
Fest.
just run is 1,000 or 1,200?
No,
It's 1,000.
1,000 always.
And then.
200 for the award.
And it kind of makes our budget look less.
Yeah, no, missing out.
Last time, this is what it is.
The winter
Oh.
festival is
I already got
1,600.
that one. It's the
So
new one.
Use the
Well, let me use the word.
The award is 200.
That we changed,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
everything else.
okay, I think we're good.
The award and just run,
and that's 50K.
50K.
Okay, we're happy with this.
And that includes safety
Signs.
for spring fling and safety for Halloween.
Why, yeah, money for safety.
What a blessing it would be if we can get
So-
an extra 15.
That'll be amazing.
I'm gonna motion,
We need it.
by the way, I'm gonna motion to create the budget for the next, or to create the budget for next budget year for Halloween to have 30K, spring fling to have 10,000 or 30,000 for Halloween, 10,000 for spring fling, 6,800 for the winter fest, 2,000 for bike rodeo, $200 for the
Award, just an award here.
and 1,000 for just run, equaling a total of $50,000. Anybody's,
I second.
do we have any discussion? Seeing none, please remember this is a vote only by adult members, so Ariana, please take over.
Brian Rodriguez,
Yes.
Eddie Rodriguez, yes. Robert Navidor,
Yes.
and Anna Soto. Yes.
Motion passes.
I think a town of our caliber should have a bigger budget.
You would think.
The
We
people
cannot
want
be
more.
out, we cannot be
The
outshined. by
people want more, the
people
council
behind
want
the
more, the council want more, but keep lowering our budget, the council want more, but keep lowering our budget, if they're watching, because I know they do watch. So stop lowering our budget, please. Work for free.
Okay,
We've been here for 10 years.
so you only vote for the best, right?
Yeah.
Hi, well.
Yeah, since
You can keep
2012.
them.
2024.
It's not- it's not-
Oh, boy. I won this when I was like 14 or 15.
I'm nearing 10 years, actually. That's crazy.
Okay.
All right, I think we're good on that. Any announcements? I'll share that information for Councilman Morera, before we leave. Today, I have it on my phone somewhere, his phone number and his email. You guys feel free to bombard him, he's new, so call him, tell him we want his idea.
Should put emails, maybe, like an email or something.
I'll make him a-
Email?
We cannot do that.
Oh, we cannot do that. Okay, sorry.
Not with us in it.
It's okay.
You can send an individual email. Go ahead.
I mean, as each of us can send one?
Yeah, but we cannot be in the same email.
Oh, okay. Also, no, we can each send an email.
Yeah, you can go ahead and feel
Maybe we
free.
could do like a form letter, and we each send one.
Any announcements, anyone doing anything exciting?
I graduated on Friday. Finally.
Everyone's boring.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Are you boring too, Brian?
Yeah.
I think we're all pretty equal.
Anything?
No, I haven't had nothing.
Well, Friday for the end of, for Friday's event, Haley got you enough kids, you're good for Friday's event, this Friday?
Yes,
I go.
whatever you can bring. Okay,
I already got 13.
13 kids.
And then Reds has 2, no, he has 2, no, I got 12, Reds got,
within those 13.
Uh-huh.
Is there any other person that's, you know, sitting in this table?
no, just me and Reds.
Perfect.
I don't know if I told you about. Yeah, they didn't know about it. I'll text you guys about it.
Okay.
So we're having another year show, with, ballet and jazz
I'll send you guys the phone
and
number.
karate and, adult and senior tai chi. These are all the classes that we have that we provide.
In the center.
The residents at veterans. And every year at Goldman, we rent out the auditorium. And they put on a show for all the parents and stuff like that. Yeah,
Okay, I'll see if I can make it, I think I might be out of town. Yeah, I'll send you the information.
All right. Seeing that's it, I'm gonna motion to adjourn this meeting at 7:56 p.m. Do I have a second?
Second.
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, have a great.
And then
day.
you don't get the group chat.
Well, they can say, "Mga larga,"
Yeah,
Sure.
like-